Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, Leon. Leon, everyone's deserted us today. What's going on?
Casuals.
They came out the woodwork last week for a super fight, and they've all gone back. But how you doing, Leon?
Browne wasn't good enough for them.
Nah, a lot of fights this weekend though. It's hard to kind of catch everything.
Well, there was so little, half the fights weren't on our TV over here, so it was a bit of a frantic download day today.
Yeah, I'm actually going to discuss that with you later because a friend of the show, Tom Davis, told me during the week. I didn't notice that Pacquiao Bradley's been picked up by Premier Sports, so Box Nation didn't even pick that up. So, and I looked at Box Nation's schedule upcoming, and it's pretty weak. And
it's fucking weak.
I'm worried that we're just going to get an email one day, Leon, saying that they're going bust and this is the date that it's going to end. But anyway, we'll get into that later. I need to eat some crow, give some props to Big Daddy Browne, man.
I've got a lot of crow coming.
You're going to have a feast today.
I got done hard over the weekend.
Previous shows I've said, Browne's very basic, not that skillful. He's just a big guy that's got a decent punch. But, he showed me a lot on Saturday in Russia. First 3 rounds, he was on the back foot. He's moving well. He was using the jab pretty well. He seemed quite light on the feet for such a big guy. I've never really seen that from him before. And in the fourth, he started to go on the front foot and engage a bit with Chagaev. And at times, he was having a lot of success, man. I was really impressed with him.
Yeah, I think the thing we've got to be most impressed with is the condition he got himself in. He almost looked gaunt, like compared to what he used to look like. He got himself in fantastic shape, and comparing that to the fucking walking turd of a mess that was in front of him in Chagaev, he was an embarrassment, wasn't he? I mean, he's still got the skills. He could still counterpunch, but he was in horrible shape.
Yeah, he was still popping with the counter left hand, but yeah, his belly, man, he just looked like he looked like a mess.
Yeah, he was. But, Browne moved well for those first 3 rounds, but he lost all of them, so he had to engage, didn't he? And that was a big shot he took as well.
I wouldn't say he lost them all. I wasn't scoring it because I didn't think Browne was going to win, but I thought the first few rounds, Chagaev didn't get close enough to kind of do much. I know Browne wasn't doing much himself, but you could say a few of them could have went either way. Yeah,
possibly. But then did you see how, was it like an extra 15, 20 seconds they put on that round he got knocked down in? Did you notice that?
What, they added extra seconds on?
Oh, it was like, Barry Jones said it was, 10 seconds to go. And when I was watching it live, I was like, that's a long 10 seconds. And I watched the replay today and counted it was about 15 seconds longer than it should have been.
Wow.
Because they thought he was gone. And then there was another round.
It was the 7th where they made it.
He hurt him, yeah.
Where there was 40 seconds left. And
then the 4th, and then was it the next round where he was, Browne did really well in the 8th. I think that was shortened by 20 seconds.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was it. That was the 7th.
Oh, was the 7th?
Yeah, so basically in the 6th, Browne got cut. Then he got badly dropped. And then he got rocked again after he got up.
And then they added seconds in that round.
Yeah, they added a bit onto that one because I remember there was a few punches as well after the bell. Chagaev landed a few shots after the bell, but Browne came out strong in the 7th. He was kind of threw multiple uppercuts. I don't know if you remember that, where he just came out with
about 4 or 5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he kind of dominantly won the first minute of that round. Chagaev slightly came back, hurt Browne in the second minute. And then, with 40 seconds to go, the timekeeper just rang the bell and they went back. And looking back now, I think the president of Grozny is going to, that timekeeper's going to have his favourite dog's head in his bed or some shit like that, man. Because I think he fucked the fight up because Browne was pretty hurt at that stage. And I think maybe Chagaev could have got him out of it in the 7th.
Yep. It was just, such a weird atmosphere in there, isn't there? It's like, I imagine, it's like, Romans throwing Christians to the lions, it feels like gladiatorial, you worried that anyone who wins on the wrong side, on the right hand side, might die. Let's be honest.
The funny thing is has anyone heard from Browne? Has he got out safely?
Oh yeah, he's back in Australia. He got out.
Fuck, man. Because
we'll come to that bum Ricky Hatton not going out there.
I don't know, like, the last time I was reading things between them two, they kind of didn't really have...
He was tweeting about it, though, wasn't he? He was accepting the victory from over here.
Yeah, but I remember Browne saying, like, had a few negative things to say. Like, the last time I heard him say stuff about Ricky, so I don't know, is he still promoting him, or is he kind of...
Yeah, they were saying, good win for our company and all this bullshit.
I don't know. I could see Browne, like, putting out that he's left him somehow, or if there's some loophole in his contract, something coming up like that. Especially now with Browne, like, he's going to go back, have a big homecoming, because, was he the first Australian heavyweight champion?
Yeah, if we're calling that a belt, then he was.
Yeah, we don't really call it a belt, but the casuals in Australia would be happy to have, the first ever. And the thing is, when you see Browne in interviews, he just seemed like a really nice guy. So
I like Browne. My issue is with the constant retweeting and the absolute, flood of casuals that follow him and the bullshit they tweet is. That's my only issue. It's just the Aussie fans. But I like him as a guy.
Yeah, I'm the same.
He's a tough bastard as well. I mean, to get up from those shots. But Chagaev gassed horribly, didn't he? And as soon as he landed something big, he knew he wasn't going to be able to, just from the shape of his body, he wasn't going to be able to get up.
Yeah, Chagaev tried to throw like the southpaw left-hand right hook, and just before the right hook, he got caught by Browne's right-hand man, and it was a good shot. He went stumbling backwards, and then he looked out of it. Browne jumped on him, up against the ropes, caught him with some nice shots, Ref jumped in, and did you see the face? And was it Chagaev's wife, man? I think she wanted to murder the camera guy that was trying.
Oh, the screaming at him, yeah.
She was like, "Yo, get away from me! Don't stop taking pictures of me." That was quite much, man.
It was good. It was a good, fun fight though. For the level of fight it was, the skill set. It was good, and the conditioning. The conditioning was on Chagaev was fucking horrible, man.
Yeah. Like, Browne's a big dude, but he's muscular, but he could be a bit better, but I've seen a lot worse heavyweights, so, like, Browne's conditioning compared to most heavyweights is pretty good, to be honest.
No, it was just Chagaev. But did you see all those promos? It was like a Game of Thrones promo that he was doing.
Yo, they spent some money on that. Did you see, the whole set man, with, the walkway that kind of lowered down towards the ring?
Yeah.
They spent some silly money on that shit.
I like the events. They're a bit weird, but they're good, man.
The president sat there with like fruit at his table and drinks, and he's got sofas there, and he's chilling with his mates. It's really surreal almost.
Didn't he get walked into the arena by armed guards?
Yeah, like with machine guns attached to him. It's crazy, man.
Nutters.
Enjoyable though. It was a good card to watch, and it was kind of running side by side with the Sky Stream, and I tweeted out that like timings worked perfect because just as a few of the good Sky fights finished a bit early. Like the Browne fight started, and as soon as the Browne fight finished, then the Eggington Skeete fight started. So timing-wise, everything was perfect.
Yeah, that rarely happens as well, doesn't it? So that was good.
Yeah, usually you got to make a choice and then watch the other one later.
But Bunce was talking some bullshit back in the studio as always about kind of trying to justify the belt. He was. That's
because Box Nation have got fuck all on it, so they're going to try and make it like it's a belt that really matters. But most boxing fans that are not just hardcore casuals will know that it's not a proper belt, man.
Steve Lillis, man, he needs to slow down because he might be. What do you think? Box Nation will close before he just dies of just not eating. He's disappearing.
I love Steve Lillis. I think he's a good analyst, but he's starting to look like a crackhead now.
He's looking fucked up, isn't he?
He is.
But commentary was good again. And I like, they did a good job, those, compared to Chemo's boyfriend, Nick Halling.
Big right hand. Yeah, man.
Big gay hand.
Props to Browne, man. Hope he goes home, has a decent homecoming. But I think he is kind of food for most good heavyweights out there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, he won't fight anyone. But, isn't he meant to fight? Fucking who's that guy? I can't believe he's still fighting in that silly tournament.
Oquendo.
Oh, yeah.
I think he beats Oquendo. He's pretty
but that's a pointless fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, do you see how fucked up that tournament is? One side's so weak and the other side's so heavy. And why does Tyson have to fight in your bummy tournament anyway?
Exactly.
He is the heavyweight champion.
Exactly. WABA trying to, organise it a bit, but
they're trying to get their belt back, aren't they? They're trying to do as much as they can to not let Fury have it.
Yeah, like Court Music saying Browne should face Hate. I think that's a good fight, but like you said, he's got to get Oquendo out of the way first.
Yeah, but he should win that one, and if he was sensible, he should just take that fight as well as quickly as possible and win it, because then at least he gets a bit of a better payday the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Because kind of when as soon as he fights someone half decent, he's going to lose the belt, isn't he? So
yeah.
Try and make a bit of money first.
Absolutely.
All right, I think we've exhausted that, but once again, congrats to Big Daddy Browne, man. You did a good job out there, and also it was a bit of like a rocky moment. I know that gets overused a bit, but he's gone to Russia. He's not the favourite. He's got dropped. He's cut, and he came back, man. It was very impressive, I thought.
Anyone who wins away in a place like that and does it like that, you got to give him props just for fucking going there.
Yeah,
making it out alive that's a win in itself, isn't it?
Exactly. Just while we're on the Russia card, undercard was weak as hell, but I'm just trying to find the fight. It was Viskan Merkabekov versus Ali Fomenko, and it was the closest fight. And I thought,
that's the big tall dude, isn't it? He's like 6'1" fighting the midget.
Yeah. And I thought he did excellent, man. No, he didn't do what I was going to say. I thought he was going to get robbed. Well, it was a close fight, and I thought, with the guy being undefeated and him being at home in Russia and all that. But I've seen it again where, the judges at these Russian cards, they're quite fair a lot of the time. So it's nice to see, because I think people slate Russia with the same kind of issue that Germany has with the scoring. So
yeah, but I think it's all a bit more tongue in cheek, because we've seen their guys lose over there. You don't see Germans. When's the last time you saw a German get knocked out on his home card? Never. I can't remember the last time. I mean, they're fighting some live bodies over there, at least. I mean, that card. We'll go back to that card last year was card of the year by a country mile, wasn't it?
Yeah, you could even say like the card of the last 5 years. It was that. Oh good,
yeah. For the different kinds of fights, yeah, it's a great card.
Yep. All right, let's move on. What fight you want to cover next, Leon?
Oh,
I know Kev's going to jump on.
What's that?
I know Kev's going to jump on. So do you want to go to the States?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, save me from. Yeah.
Save you from more crow for Skeete Eggington.
It's more than crow.
I think like you and me need to stop like picking fighters that we like, because
I went hard at Skeete though, and then I got fucking destroyed.
Yeah, you
on
were
Twitter by numerous of our listeners and some bums who I don't know. Fuck them anyway. You know who you are.
All right,
I'll give props to the our list of the people who got me hard. Fucking that pause.
We'll get back to that in a bit, because I know Kev's going to jump on. So, Kev, are you there?
Here.
What's happening, brother?
What's up, man?
We're good. We're just going to touch on the HBO card. I know Leon saw the Ortiz fight, but he didn't manage to catch a full stream of the Vargas fight. So, do you want to talk with me with the Vargas Ali fight?
Yeah, I watched it.
I saw the knockdowns.
What did you think of?
What did I think of the fight?
Yep.
It was a good little fight. Looked like Ali basically deer in the headlights. Looked like he froze a little bit tentative, a little bit scared. He didn't really come after it.
He couldn't really stop that right hand either, could he?
Nah, I mean, I also like at the end, I make no excuses, but I hurt my ankle before the fight, hurt it in the fight. The ring was wet. I couldn't move, but no excuses.
Yeah, props to him, no excuses.
That's like when you say, like, no disrespect, and then you just disrespect the guy for 5 minutes. But,
you know what? I was thinking the same thing as he was making that speech.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad. I know it was a big letdown for him. This is a big fight for him, and I don't know. That whole gym had a lot of fighters going on this weekend, the whole Brooklyn area, so I know that had to hurt.
Yeah. Wasif in the chat, friend of the show, in the chat constantly, sent me a message to ask you guys, do the fans of boxing need to show a little more patience when it comes to moving prospects up the chain and take on challenges, as we saw from Saddam Ali's loss this weekend? Or was this just a simple case of Vargas being a live dog? I'm sure most people were expecting Ali to win this fight. I think it was more Vargas being a live dog. I saw this as a 50-50.
Yeah. I think most saw it as a 50-50. And how slow could you move him? Like I said, this guy, I remember him, his first fight was our first couple fights, he was on a couple cards with Sean, so he's been around for a while. Like, if not now, when? How much slower are we supposed to move him?
Exactly.
He had the Abregu fight. That's the perfect gateway to a fight, and it's not like he fought a killer. He fought a guy named Vargas who's been in close fights the last, 6 fights. So I think this is the perfect, step-up fight for a 50-50 type fight, and the winner of this moves on. The loser goes back down and tries to build up. I don't know how much more patience we need.
Vargas' best performance was that one punch against Bradley, wasn't it? I mean, that's the best thing he's done.
And he lost.
He's been moved. I mean, it's not about. I don't mind them being moved slowly. It's the level of. It's how you move them, right? That's the bigger issue. Is because you see how many people just get exposed suddenly, and we say the word exposed. It's just because they haven't been brought up properly. They've fought too many. Bums and road sweepers and stuff.
Yeah. And the problem in boxing is you take the L and then you get shitted on as opposed to MMA. But if he had a good showing and it was a good fight, I think what boxing needs to do is stop killing somebody. It's like, all right, he stepped up, he had a good fight. Let's not put him all the way back on the train. But when you get fucking smoked like this, then you got to go back. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's basically he got pushed too fast or moved too hard, but I mean, who else was he going to fight at this point?
This is the perfect fight for the perfect time, and he got not, he wasn't up to it, was he? He was in the fight though. I mean, supposedly I haven't seen it, but people say he was in the fight.
Not really. I think he was losing from the get-go. Body language wise, I mean, I guess some of the rounds were close, but body language and momentum and control, it's like, I guess it's kind of like when you watch sparring and you see somebody who's basically going through the motions and still pushing him around. Like, even though he's not beating him up, you could tell who the class in the ring was. And it just looked like Ali was – it wasn't his best performance. I know he's capable of a lot better. I was never really too high on him, but it really looked like he froze a little bit. And once he started getting hit, like Cam said, with that right hand, he couldn't stop it, and he just froze completely, like, fuck, I don't know what to do kind of thing.
Yep.
It's not a problem though. He can come back. It's it's good to see. That's the kind of fight we want. Now we know, don't we? It's like, right, okay, that's a good win for Vargas. It puts him in a nice position.
And I think the good thing is now it's like, say Ali comes back, and you look like maybe they match him up with somebody on the way up where they're feeding Ali to somebody. Now he could play spoiler. And a big win is even bigger, and he might be getting a guy who's a little less prepared or something. So exactly. I don't think you throw him to the scrap heap, but he takes a step back, and I don't think he was really moved too fast. I just think he had his chance, and he messed up. Like, if he won, he would have been on pace for a big fight next. So,
but he'll probably get another world title shot, won't he? If they bring him back, right?
I think the way that fight went, maybe Cam, if you've seen it the same way. And maybe just because I've seen him a little more, I just think he wasn't himself and froze. I think they're going to have to build him up to the point where he gets his confidence up. So I think the build-up might take a little longer than one or two fights and throw him right into a title fight. Yeah, it might be like get him on a couple locals, like small shows, just get him a win or two to get his confidence back, and then that third or fourth fight, that's when they build him back into contender or showbox or something.
I don't know. I just think he kind of reached his level. I'm not the biggest Ali fan, and when I've seen him in the past, he did impress me against Abregu, but Abregu kind of on the slide. So I did pick Abregu in the prediction league, so that was on me. But I just
Cam, you know what's funny? The way he performed now was kind of the way people were talking about him before the Abregu fight. And then he won the Abregu fight. Now everybody's picking him against Vargas. So
exactly, it's like that one big win again that kind of puts you up there. A bit like we were saying about Quigg beating Kiko, and it was like, oh, now Frampton Quigg is a 50-50, but really it wasn't. One fight didn't make much of a difference.
Agree.
But yeah, anything else regarding that subject? Do you think Vargas will get the Bradley rematch after Pacquiao-Bradley 3?
I guess it depends how that fight goes with those two. I mean, I think win or lose, he should be in line for it. If Bradley wins, he can get it. If Bradley loses, there's no reason why it shouldn't happen. It looks like he's pretty much dead set on just wanting to fight Bradley, not really caring about much else, which I think is a good thing. If it's a grudge match, I feel that. If that fight's really eating away at you, then make it happen.
I agree to that, but the first fight was so one-sided to me. I don't really want to see another one, but with Top Rank, just
But this is Top Rank. Do you want to see any of their fights?
exactly what we'll probably get Vargas Alvarado, because I was looking at the schedule. He's fighting in a couple of weeks. He's back fighting on Unimas. So we'll probably get him and then probably Provodnikov in there somewhere, and it's just recycle after recycle.
He could be in a big summer fight with Kell Brook in an outdoor stadium.
You know what, Vargas Brook,
chase the money.
Vargas Brook is a decent fight.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's better than what we've been getting.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's the kind of thing that Eddie could try and sell as a big fight, though, isn't it?
Yep, beat undefeated Saddam Ali.
Yeah,
almost beat Tim Bradley. You could see Horling doing like a commentary and all that shit, couldn't you?
Oh yeah.
Just the thought of it's just disgusting you, innit?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the main event of that card, Ortiz Thompson. Before the get-go, no one was really looking forward to this fight. Like Thompson's late replacement, constantly out of shape. Even when he's like had notice for a fight, he's still out of shape. He likes his McDonald's a bit too much, but I don't know. I thought it was a very slow-paced fight. Yeah, there were 3 knockdowns. Thompson just kept getting hit with the same shot at the top of the head, not looking towards Ortiz's direction, so not bracing himself, getting dropped. And I think on the last one, I think he may have twisted his knee, or that might just have been the ploy to get the fight stopped. But
it was so bad. He was like telegraphing that left hand, like he was turning it around and chopping down on it. Like oh man, it's like he was showing him that here it comes, boom, hitting him.
Yeah, it was a bit of.
And to make it worse, I tried not watching this fight after I saw how fucking awful Thompson looked in shape. And I remember last week, I'm like, how is this guy still fighting? Like, this is bad. But HBO, I was tired. I've been working a lot. So I was laying in bed, and HBO just kept playing it over and over again. On every channel I turned, like, this fight was on. I was like, fuck, I might as well watch it.
It was like God was telling you to watch it.
Oh, it was so fucking bad. And Ortiz looked bad, too, because every punch he basically tried throwing didn't land, except when he did the fucking 1-2 and finally he shot some uppercuts. But it's just slow motion. And you could kind of see if Ortiz wanted to push it, he probably could have got him out of there, but he just didn't. I don't know why, but it was bad.
It wasn't
no reason for it to happen.
Yeah, it wasn't a great, like you said, it wasn't a great look for Ortiz, because it's like, well, there's this old dude that's out of shape, and you taking, was it 6 rounds or something to get him out of there?
Yeah, and that's what I said last week. It's a lose-lose. No matter what he does, he should have got him out of there quicker, or he fought a bum. There's no way he could have came out of there looking good. As much as Lampley tried amping him up, or Hopkins, and you know I'm the biggest Hopkins fan in the world, but he cannot be on commentary. He just talks too slow. He runs around you can tell he's just a smart guy, but he has his difference between intelligence and educated, and he just, you know what he wants to say, he just can't get there 30 seconds later. And I'm like, dude, we just missed a half a round for you to say that he's throwing the straight left hand. Like, you know?
That's totally correct. And I'm a Hopkins fan too, but you're right. It is like that. And you can tell sometimes almost like Lampley and Max want to kind of hurry him up a bit to kind of carry on their commentary.
It was like you could lead a horse to water type of thing. They were trying to get him there, and he just couldn't. And of course, and the one thing I like about Hopkins, he's not going to let you cut him off. He's going to just keep going. But it's just hard to watch, and it just doesn't have to happen. It doesn't.
Yeah. Leon, did you see it?
Yeah, I did see it. He didn't get out of first gear, did he? It wasn't even really a contest.
No.
But to be fair, has anyone ever really done Thompson like that?
Probably
but
not.
this isn't that top.
This is like the worst Thompson, though.
I was still talking with people on Twitter after they'd finished trolling the fuck out of me for my picks. And they were saying, "Oh no," some people were saying they thought he would go get through the whole fight. He's a tough guy, but I thought he'd get to him, but he still did. He's still pretty early finish for Thompson.
Mm-hmm. One thing I got to say about Ortiz is, kind of like Hopkins, he's very disciplined in keeping his chin down at all times. Like you can see he has that stance. He walking forward or moving back, his chin's always down, which will serve him good when he fights a puncher. And something about his left hand, it's like a laser for the temple. And anybody knows you get hit in the temple, like that first knockdown, it just disorientates you. You can't get your wits about you for a minute. It knocks you off balance. So those are two things that I took out of it that are positives. But And especially when you're fighting a guy like Thompson who can't hit. You saw him trying to hit the pool noodles in warm-ups. He couldn't even do that. So it's just like, but he still stayed disciplined and kept his chin down the whole time, walking forward, and that really limits the target. So, I mean, I just want to see him fight somebody good.
But the problem is
the Jennings fight was good, but
I was just going to say another positive for this fight was the quick turnaround, because especially with heavyweights now, they'll fight and then not fight for 6-7 months. But he only fought Jennings recently, and he's out again. Fair B, you know, it's not a great opponent, but at least he's keeping active, so that's only a positive thing.
I think he's the type that has to stay active, otherwise he's going to just get fat and lazy. So
He just get older and older, because I'm sure he must be about 67 years old. He looks old.
30. Look about 50. What was that, Bad Boys, when he went to pick up his daughter? You 18? Look about 30.
Yeah, when he comes to date his daughter, that tall guy. Yeah, that was a great scene. Someone has jumped on the show that's not been on a while. Nayota.
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on? You good?
Yeah, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Yo, what fights did you see this weekend?
Oh, man, I saw them all. So whatever you want me to start with, just let me know.
No worries. We're just finishing with Ortiz versus Thompson. So give us your thoughts on that.
The HBO card. Let me hear Cam say H again.
HBO.
There you go.
Yeah. Gotta love it. Yeah, man. Luis Ortiz looked like he might be having a little bit of stamina issues, man. To me, like he was breathing and sweating really heavy after 2 rounds of what was like, you know, him really not doing that much. I mean, he rocked Tony Thompson, but it's not like he really followed up super heavy to finish him. And then like he looked like somebody that should be exasperated off of that. And it also took him a little too long to get rid of Tony Thompson. See, and my initial thought was he might be, you know, trying to go a little bit of rounds, trying to shake out, just, you know, stay warm, you know, get his legs under him and everything, you know, have like at least a good little go of it, you know, of an overmatched opponent. But I think at a certain point, the look on his face, even as he was working, seemed to me like he was thinking, like, damn, this dude's still here, and you know, I need to get rid of him before I wind up getting too tired in the later rounds. And he might hit me with something. Because, I mean, Tony Thompson was still landing punches on him, even though he was slow as shit. And, I mean, somebody with as slow a hands as Thompson has at this point shouldn't really be landing on a guy that's, you know, an elite-level fighter, which is, you know, where a lot of us really place Ortiz. So even though I think that Ortiz would still be a big problem for a lot of the guys at the heavyweight division, I think he showed enough flaws there, and I have a feeling like his stamina is real suspect.
I think we're all going a bit overboard, because, you know, after Jennings last time, I just think he just didn't get out of first gear, and maybe he didn't put his, you know, maybe he didn't take it as seriously as he should have. But I think he's, like you said, he's still a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's no one's queuing up to fight him.
Lampley was talking about him like he was the most feared fighter since a mid-'80s Tyson, though. I mean, that's a little ridiculous, too.
But I still say who's going to want to take that fight? I don't think many people. I mean, he's not Charles Martin, is he? He's not.
Yeah, you know, he's still got a lot of offers turned down from several people. I mean, Stavern and a bunch of like 4 or 5 other.
Oh, you
names.
killed
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I remember like 5 different people, specifically De La Hoya, saying outright when Tony Thompson first took the challenge that turned it down. I think it was like Stavern, Areola, and like 3 other guys that are around that same level. So
Andy Ruiz.
Did he? Well, I wasn't sure if he was one of the names.
I don't know. Lampley said it during the telecast, I think.
Okay, because I know they were talking about Ruiz fighting Ibeabuchi coming back, so I wasn't sure if he was one of them.
I think he gives anyone a good fight in the heavyweight division at the moment. Anyone.
I do too, but I do think that there might be a little bit of a stamina issue there. And I think the fact that he's not coming out of first gear may be an indication of that.
Yeah,
like he's not willing to push himself.
You'd have stamina issues as well if you were 85.
Just to go against what you were saying, Nota, about, you know, Thompson touching him up a bit. I just think, you know, because Thompson's got that long reach and he's southpaw, so I think that angle and just that the reach, maybe, yeah, he was getting caught a bit. But I agree with Leon. I just think he was stuck in first gear. He knew that, especially once you drop a guy once, you know, and you kind of think, well, that was easy. You kind of don't even want to go up gears because you know that this is easy work for you. So I don't think he saw Thompson as a threat to him and a threat of winning the fight. I think he just took it easy. Really, he should have maybe try and take him out earlier, make more of a statement, but is what it is.
Possibly. I mean, hey, he might have even been playing a little possum, like so that other people will actually fight him too.
That's a good point, yeah. But moving on, me and Kev and Leon discussed the Vargas versus Ali fight. What was your thoughts on that?
I was extremely impressed with Vargas. That's my general thoughts. I thought he's really come into his own now. Like he's looking like a real problem now. I mean, just the fact that he was able to do a lot of subtle things in there. Like he was throwing a lot of feints and he was catching Saddam Ali with the actual shots that he would throw after the feints almost every damn time. And one of the clever things that I thought he did is he would feint a jab, then he would throw a jab, and then instead of throwing the right hand immediately after the jab, he'd stagger it.
Yeah, there was a slight delay.
Yeah, there was a slight delay, and so Ali didn't even expect the shot, and that's the exact shot that he put him down with.
Exactly, yeah, because he kind of thought, he's not going to throw anything, and he got caught.
Yeah, he hurt him with it every single time. That's the same shot that he hurt Bradley with.
Yeah, exactly, yep. But what was your thoughts before the fight? Did you see it as a 50-50? Who were you kind of picking beforehand?
I saw it as a 50-50. I was leaning to Ali because I felt like he was a more consistent fighter, and I felt like Jesse Vargas, while I thought he had a higher ceiling, I felt like he was too much of a wild card. I thought he was too inconsistent. Like sometimes he looks really good, sometimes he doesn't. So I had favored Ali in there.
At the weigh-in, I thought it might be a problem for Ali a bit when they faced off, and Vargas was a little bigger. And I always thought Ali had like physical strength issues. So like once I saw like Vargas kind of looking down on him, I thought that might increase that question mark I had.
Vargas is fairly tall for the weight. So, yeah, I mean, and he utilized it really well too. And the mistake that Ali made was he was standing at mid range with a guy that's a combo punching counter puncher. It's almost like Jesse Vargas has developed a style almost similar to like Marquez, where it's like he'll counter you and he'll hit you with a combo while he's countering you. And then if you linger a little too long on the inside, he's just gonna rattle off a 3-4 punch combo, and everything's got power on it. Because whereas he used to fight off the back foot and be a bit more of like a slap boxer, like Kimo always likes to say, he's sitting on everything now. He's putting power behind everything that he throws. And Ali felt it. And to me, Ali he should have been fighting a little bit more of an in and out game. And the mistake he made was standing at mid range with a guy that's going to throw combos. And if you're doing that, you have to really have a good defensive evasive basis where you're dodging, bobbing, and weaving and stuff like that.
And depending on the outcome of Pacquiao Bradley 3, would you like to see the Vargas Bradley rematch, or do you think?
Yeah, I think he earned it more. I think he more than earned it. I mean, that's how you earn a rematch. You go out there and fight the next like available contender, the next guy that they're saying that Bradley should be fighting. Because remember, there was talks of Bradley Ali too.
Yep.
And you knock his ass out, and that's exactly what he did.
Definitely. Okay, should we move on, guys?
Sure.
Who saw this Showtime card? I know Leon didn't.
I did.
Oh, excellent. So we've got someone to go back and forth with.
I saw Kev going ham against Wissam on Twitter over it.
Yo, dude made me so fucking mad, bro.
Why?
Dominic Wade is a superstar, but this guy fucking Kurtzig is a bum. Like, dude, you've never seen the guy fight. You don't know what he looks like. You've never heard of him. You looked at his resume, be like, oh, he got knocked out by a bum. That was 12 years ago in fucking bumfuck when he has visa issues and he's not eating but once a month. Like, come on, man. Stop it. It bothers me. When
was this Twitter back and forth?
Calling this guy a bum. I'm like, ask anybody who sparred 4 rounds with this guy if he's a fucking bum.
Yeah, because basically what happened, Cam, is he defeated the formerly undefeated prospect Antoine Douglas, knocked his ass out, beat him down.
And the backstory is Douglas is the guy Lukey, the Triple G hater, was amping up. Like, I could see in a year or two Douglas being a problem for Triple G, which, of course, I didn't let that slide. I got after Lukey about that, but I'm like, and then dude's like, oh, he got knocked out by a bum. I'm like, yo, you better watch who you calling a bum. Like, this dude, and in New York here, where he's sparring, even though I got to challenge the Raging Babe on this one, she's talking about Philly stand up. I'm like, this dude's been living in Brooklyn for years, and he trains with Brooklyn, Gary Stark, all these guys. But he spars, and he's in the same camp with Sergey fucking Kaitrov, Danny Jacobs, Marcus Browne. This guy's fucking sparring and fighting studs. Used to be Curtis Stevens in there, and this guy's fighting all top guys.
Yeah, if you look at his record, he's fought a lot of like really underrated, like not like I guess you might call them fringe contenders and like journeymen and stuff.
Yeah,
but
and
underrated guys.
Even someone tweeted about him, and like, what's his name? Julian Williams, manager and stuff, was like, I wouldn't put nobody in against this animal. Like everybody knows this. That
well, and he's got one. And the thing is, he has a weird style because he's fucking 5'4", so it's like he's short as shit. He moves side to side. He makes you give up your reach, and he has like crazy stamina and power. So I mean,
yeah. But he's the type of dude. Like you're right. He's like 5'4", 5'5". So like I'm like 5 inches taller than him. But he's the type of guy. The second you look at him, you can tell he's just fucking hard as nails. Like Jesus.
Well,
and
yeah.
like,
I mean, being that short at that weight, you're stuck as shit. So.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago he came into Sean's gym and supposedly got on the scale. He was way over, and the trainer was pissed, and he looked at him and said in like weird accent, "No problem," and just tapped him on his head and told him to walk away. This motherfucker lost all that weight and just came out bombing people.
Oh, his work rate was amazing, man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. Ask anybody who's went 4 rounds in sparring. It's hard to find. I told you. I just told this story last week. These guys are fucking animals in sparring. They don't stop. It's wars, and they're fighting top competition. And to call a guy a bum just because you've never heard of him is stop. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, I think people are a little too quick to throw the B word around, basically. You know, to call everybody bums just because they don't know them and all kinds of stuff. And you know, there's plenty of guys that'll probably be a world champion in one fight or two, and you don't know who they are, and you're gonna call them a bum, and then they're gonna make you look stupid when they knock somebody the fuck out.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a threat for Triple G, but he's not a bum. He's a good fighter, and this was a good. Oh man, it was a fun fight. Ken, what do you think of the fight? I thought it was real fun. I know I was telling all you guys, you better watch this. This is a fucking really fun fight.
Yeah, I actually watched it today, and possibly fight of the year so far, just because it was all action. You know, how do you pronounce his name? Kurtzacy, or how do you pronounce his name?
Kurtzis? I don't know.
Kurtzacy.
Yeah, call him Tornado, the animal.
Yeah,
it's almost.
Like,
I noticed they pronounce it almost similar to Ortiz, but Cortez.
Yeah, Cortez or something. Yeah, but
Kurtzies. Yeah.
He just jumped straight on Douglas's chest. Douglas just. You know, he didn't. I don't know what his game plan was beforehand, but he wasn't executing any of it. He was trying to like step away and jab, but it's difficult when you got a guy like that who's throwing, countering, bobbing side to side. You know, he was saying about the Tyson references, and you know he was doing that. He was just getting close, bobbing side to side, left hook. Yep. I think he caught him in the start of the 3rd round with that left hook.
Left hook, big. Yep.
Yeah.
Really hurt him.
It was an excellent exhibition of what you do as a short fighter, you know, to close distance.
Yep.
And like that's a tape that I would show somebody if they're really tiny for their weight class. I'd be like, fight like this guy.
And the thing is, like, he has no amateur experience. They asked him, like, why don't you fight in amateurs? I have no interest in trying to fight where people are running away from you. So he just had like 10 amateur fights and turned pro.
That's good.
He just wants to fight. And I don't know. I know I show you guys a lot of videos when Kaitro first came here, like his training videos where he was like hitting and pivoting and moving like that. And that's how this trainer really likes him. So I could tell like really clicked. And you could see after the fight, they were hugging, they're kissing, like they just clicked with this guy. And this guy, Gary Stark, man, he might not be the most known guy, but he's got a fucking stable of fighters over here in Brooklyn, man. He's got a good little thing going on.
Definitely. Just going back to the fight, Douglas did start to adjust, and he was fighting quite well on the inside. He could have used the uppercut. I think it was Raul Marquez said at the time, you know, he needs to kind of use the uppercut because the guy's small or he's on the inside. He was trying to throw short little hooks, and he was either catching gloves or missing or catching him a few times, but didn't really have much impact on him.
Or Cam, you see he was landing the hooks, the left hook especially, but he wasn't turning it over. It was kind of like you could even see like him hitting the head and the hand kind of bouncing off it before he like followed through. He wasn't getting a full turn on him because he was so close. But the problem with throwing uppercuts is when a guy's that small and that close to you and your legs already been taken away from you because you got to drop lower levels before you can shoot that uppercut. And that just takes a lot out of you after a guy's been up your ass, you know?
Yeah, that is true. That is true, Kev. But there was that wicked period between rounds the 6th and the 7th where his trainer was saying, I want you to use the hook, but he used a different term for it. I think it must have been the Georgian word for hook or something like that. And he just came out in the 7th and just clocked him with the counter left, dropped Douglas again, and there was a lot of time left on the clock, but Douglas managed to get out of it, man. But when I was talking to Kimo, I said to Kimo, he needs to watch this fight, and he downloaded it today and he watched it, and I just thought, should have Douglas's team kind of pulled him out, maybe the 9th where he was just taking a beating.
I'd have pulled him out earlier. That one round, but then he had a decent round the next round, but everything he was throwing wasn't hurting. I think he just took too many hits that he didn't have to take, and that one round where he had a decent round proved that he wasn't going to do anything because everything he threw had no effect on old boy, and he wasn't getting tired. So at that point, it's like as many punches as he's throwing, it's like if you stop it 2-3 rounds early, you're saving him 100 punches landed, and Douglas had a lot of heart, man. He had a lot of balls. You could tell that, and credit to him. But he was just getting hit clean too many times with that left hook, and even body shots that were, just in close and short. That it's tough. I would have stopped it.
And with him being 23 as well, he's got time to come back. He didn't need to take that beating.
Yeah, he's the type of age where you can rebuild, go back to the drawing board, get his confidence up and stuff like that, and just run up. And he's been on Showtime a lot, so he had to be making decent money on the way up, but I don't know. I would have stopped it, but then if he got stopped early, everybody would criticize and calling him a bitch. So it's tough.
Yeah, but Kimo did send me his voice note after the fight, and this is what he thought of it.
Wow, what a fight, man! What a fucking fight! See the trainer? The trainer's really good, by the way, man. He gets this guy riled up. Like when he was telling him to do the brava, whatever he's talking about, like, dude, he just fucking nailed him straight after, and then he was yelling at him in the corner, like, give me Mike Tyson, and then he kissed him on the forehead, and then he just charged at him, man, combo, bam, ref stepped in. Look at Douglas's face, man. I feel bad for the kid, dude. What the fuck was his corner thinking?
Yeah, Kimo kind of summed up most of what we just discussed.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm telling you, these guys love the Ukrainians. This guy, they love this trainer, and like you said, that Mike Tyson stuff. He didn't need to give him technical advice. He just needed to motivate him, make sure he had his energy up, and he had those extra rounds in him. And sometimes that's all people need. So it's fucking, man. It was a fun fight. I couldn't get enough of it. I remember I called Sean the fight. I was like, is this that dude? Because I only seen him the one time. He goes, yeah, he was just in there 2 weeks ago. He's a fucking animal. I was like, damn, he's a beast, man. It's a brute squad over there. These guys just come in burying people. And good for him. I mean, this hopefully gets him a nice payday next fight or something. So who knows?
Yep. And the headline of the card, Williams, I thought his fight was probably the weakest of the 3 televised fights, but I think that was more due to his opponent. Was it Mateo or however you pronounce it? Montano?
Yeah. Montano?
I thought he
Mini Lemieux?
I thought he was terrible, man.
Yeah, the Mini Lemieux.
He came in like,
he had no business being in there.
He had he came in 3.5 pounds underweight. You fucking look tiny in there. All he was doing is trying to jump in with a left hook, and on the inside he was useless, man. How did this guy get into a final eliminator? I know how Williams got into a final eliminator, but how did Montano get into a final eliminator?
I mean, that's a mystery, really.
That was the weakest fight, so I don't want to give it too much time unless you guys got anything to mention about Williams.
You said there was 3 fights televised. What was the other one?
The other one was that
Tony Harrison.
The
Harrison.
Nelson
knocked out Lesnar.
Fernando Guerrero.
Yeah, he knocked out Guerrero.
That was the fun fight.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, that was the first of the televised fights, and that was a fun fight, man. Guerrero, you know that he's fought Lemieux, got knocked down multiple times. Fought Quillen, got knocked down multiple times. Packing glass. Harrison was hurting him. He got dropped in the 2nd, got dropped in the 6th.
But Guerrero's more of a 54-pounder that was fighting big 60-pounders getting dropped like that. So
true, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, basically he played his position. Tony Harrison, looked fairly well coming back and everying.
Tony Harrison looked like he was going to a club. That took half an hour to take his vest off and shit. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
The ref was like, "Man, hurry up, man! Take the glasses off, take the vest off."
Yeah, Tony Harrison's a character, man. He's trying to do like King J, Pretty Boy Gang.
Yeah, he looked like a rapper in 2004. I thought he should have had a sidekick on him or a SkyTel pager or something like that.
SkyTel taking it back.
But yeah, that was a fun fight.
With the bubble goose.
Exactly. It was a fun fight. Harrison dominated him, but there was a little part in the fourth where he caught him and almost a bit saved by the bell where Harrison was in a bit of a trouble. But apart from that, it was dominant from Harrison. But there was a little part in the second round, just between the second and the third, where Guerrero's game plan was pretty weak, man. He was trying to kind of box him at distance where, with the Harrison's range, he should have been on the inside. It's not really Guerrero style, though, but he got dropped and he went back to his corner, and his trainer had this to say.
What the fuck are you doing, man? What the fuck are you doing? You're sitting on you don't know. I don't know either. Let's get it together.
You don't know. I don't know either.
That's pretty funny, man.
Yep.
Let me mention back at J-Rock, though. Even though it took a while to get rid of his food and everything, but the best thing about that fight, though, was the post-fight interview where he called Jamal Charlo a little girl.
And turkeys. He's calling everyone turkeys.
He said, "All y'all turkeys, man. Like, come on, whenever you want it, wherever, all y'all turkeys."
It was quite entertaining. I think you're right. That was probably the best part of his performance, to be honest.
Yeah, that's one of the best post-fight interviews in a minute. He should fight Andre, man. They'll be calling each other all kinds of names.
That'd be a good fucking fight. Him and Lara would be a good fight as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if Lara will take the damn thing, because it seems like J-Rock has a hell of a lot of trouble getting all those guys in the ring.
Now he's mandatory for Charlo, though, so...
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a close fight, though. I never really rated Charlo until recently, until his last few performances. He's kind of impressed me more.
Honestly, I think Williams probably... I favor him a little bit, basically. I think he beats him.
Okay, fair enough. Anything else about that card, the Showtime card, Naoto?
Kev's other boy got up another win to
Kaitrov. Yeah, they're showing highlights of that. It looked like a scrappy fight, a lot of low blows. He suffered a bad cut as well.
Yeah, he actually went the distance with that cat. Not sure exactly how, his level of quality, but I mean, he's still in his winning ways, so props to him.
Yep. All right, moving on to you, Leon. Let's move on to Birmingham. Let's eat some crow, because you and me have been advocates of Sam Eggington for a while, and he let us down, but...
You got skeeted on?
We let ourselves down. That's what happened here.
He got skeeted on.
Yeah, he got skeeted on, but we got fucking chemoed and started buying into that sky hype. We fucking deserve what we get. Yeah, he was pure caveman in there, Eggington.
Yeah, he was very poor, just doing the same thing over and over again.
Well, I thought it was kind of close up until about the fifth.
Yeah, I agree, because I seen people's cards on Twitter and they had it kind of like Skeete, like a shutout, and I was like, nah, it's a bit closer than that. But I think
it was about a 9-3.
Yeah.
Wasn't that close, And I reaped what I sowed. I was trolling hard, saying Skeete had couldn't believe how many people were picking Skeete, and then I got abused for the next couple of hours after that result came in. It wasn't a fun place to be.
Well, you reap what you sow, Leon.
I won't lie. I got really defensive.
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, no. And there's a couple of them in the chat at the moment. They know who they are. They win. I lose.
Wasif is saying me.
Wasif, yeah. Jack Captain got a couple of shots in. Mr. Dermo was brutal. Yeah, he kept on calling me casual night. That didn't go down well. Column had a little dig. Then a few other London Box had a go, and then a few other bums who I don't care about.
Leon was a target on Saturday night.
I was, but Skeete looked really good, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
because I was saying, he'll beat no one. Like I said, getting defensive, he'll lose his next fight. But no, he looked really, really good, really good. I mean, Ari said he looked world class in round 7. I think he might have gone a bit too far, but it was,
he did look good. Like
it was a pretty dominant win, wasn't it?
Yeah, he started taking the piss out of him in the 7th, where he kind of put his hands low and he was just he was slipping and countering, and Eggington got the piss taken out of him.
But and he marked him up as well.
Yeah. Skeete's concentration impressed me, man. I think the analyst mentioned it as well, Smith and Jamie Moore, that his eyes were wide open. He's constantly looking at what's going to get thrown at him and how can he counter it. And I love guys that can concentrate for 12 rounds, man. But he does switch off sometimes, because I thought maybe in the last 3 he did switch off. But overall, man, really impressed with Skeete. I've shit on him in the past. I've said he's quite boring to watch and stuff.
Do you know what it is? It's because me and you nearly took our own lives trying to sit through that Gavin Skeete fight. But that wasn't his. I realised, it wasn't his fault. It was just a terrible matchup. And when someone's coming at him caveman style, he's going to look good, isn't he?
True.
I mean, but I thought I'd tell you who's a proper wanker. Is that did you see that? I haven't watched it because I can't bring myself to watch it. But everyone's been going on about the Barry Hearn video where he's coating Eggington off. Did you see that?
I've not seen it. What actually happened?
I don't know. I couldn't watch it because everyone was going. It was just how bad it was. Just saying that how disappointed he was in him, and does he have a stomach to be a boxer and stuff. It was pretty fucking brutal, man. The kid's 22, and he. Like they all said on the Sky hype machine, he wanted to be a journeyman. He never expected to be in this position. So that's why I brought into it. Really, I just liked him, but he was well out of his depth.
I said I started to like him after the Denton vs. Cell fight, and the thing is, I maybe jumped on that bandwagon a bit early and hyped him a bit, but it's also, if you look at Sky, Sky needed a Birmingham base, and then obviously they picked up Gavin, they got the Yafai brothers, and Eggington started to get some good wins, picked up the British, picked up the Commonwealth, and then I think Sky's, and especially Matchroom, started to use him as a crutch a bit, where it's like, this is our new star, and I don't think he kind of wanted that pressure also. I think he likes being the underdog at times.
But the other thing is, he was in some fun. The reason we brought into it is because we see so many poor fights on Sky, one-sided mismatches, that when you get a guy like Eggington, who's usually in close 50-ish fights, and he's always in fun fights, of course we're going to get into him because they're good fights, and we haven't seen any, He always brings it, doesn't he? And that's why we got into it. Yeah.
Oh well, he's still young, man. The thing is, he does get hit a lot, man. Like if he continues like that, he's gonna have a short career, man.
Oh yeah, I don't know if he can improve or not, but I'm not off the bandwagon. Fuck it, Team Eggington. No, but Skeete looked good. And it's always good to see Eddie Hearn take a hard L on his own channel.
It is, so but you know what? Fun. The whole broadcast and Hearn himself in the post-fight interview, man, they gave a lot of props to Skeete. They could have kind of not said anything and just swept him out, out the angle of the camera. But props to him, man. He's a rival. He's a rival boxer from another company and another TV channel, and they gave him quite a lot of airtime. So I thought that was quite good from Sky.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Bradley Skeete now, he's back to fighting nobodies in Harrow Sports Hall on a Friday evening on Box Nation.
Well, if Box Nation goes bust, I'm guessing Hearn will probably pick up Skeete as well. Then it'll be Kell Brook's future opponent.
Oh yeah, of course. You can get the Kell Brook fight.
Yeah. And the Gavin rematch.
Oh no! But that Gavin Eggington fight will still happen, don't you think? They'll find a way.
Yeah, that will happen. I think that'll be a boring fight as well. Now, looking how Eggington struggled with Skeete, I think he'll struggle with.
Oh yeah, he struggled with Gavin, but I think to be fair to Skeete, I think he punches harder than Gavin. So I I think he actually was putting Eggington off, wasn't he, with some of the shots he was landing?
True, but Gavin's quite slick, man. He's hard to hit.
But he's got no. But isn't he suspended anyway for like?
He is. Yeah, but I'm talking about when he comes back from suspension. No.
Oh,
Eddie will definitely make that fight in Birmingham. That's a big fight.
Can't he just stay gone? Get a job with the pizza delivery man. I know he'd eat all of them and get sacked, wouldn't he? So that's him true. Out of that.
Yeah. Naota, did you see this fight?
I saw it pretty much out of the corner of my eye. Like with my hours, it's kind of like my early morning, so I was just kind of listening to it more so than watching it. But when I realized that Skeete was like kind of kicking his ass, I paid a little more attention. And I was like, damn, like I was amazed that it was the same guy that I watched last year when I think it was Ari sent me that video saying like, oh yeah, this is something easy that'll like put you to sleep real easy.
Yeah, that's what Ari used to do all the time.
Yeah, I was like, damn, I can't believe this is the same guy. He looked pretty good. I think like some people are going a little overboard with like calling him world class or whatever, but I mean he did a good job, and
that was only one round.
He beat a guy that he was supposed to lead, that he was supposed to lose to. So I mean, I'm sure he'll get a good payday against Gavin, like you were talking about.
Yep, Leon. The rest of the card as a whole was pretty good, man. Like the 2 5 fights were good. Some of the floaters in between were pretty decent.
Yeah, Cal did very good. Cal, I saw that. I definitely paid attention to that fight. Because his opponent had fought Carlos Quadras, the WBC super flyweight champ. And Quadras took him out in 5. I mean, Yafai took him out in 1, which is, pretty good comparative-wise. Albeit, Quadras didn't really have any trouble with the same guy. But I saw Yafai called out Kohei Kono at 115.
Yeah, that's the fight they're after, yeah.
I think Kono's the WBA champ, if I remember correctly.
He's a mandatory now after that fight.
Yeah, but I mean, Kono's probably the most vulnerable champion there, so I'd give him a shot to beat Kono, because Kono's like he's a volume guy. He doesn't necessarily have a ton of power, and he beat Koki Kameda a few months ago on PBC.
Yeah, that was a great fight.
Yeah, it was a damn close fight too. It was very close, and Kono managed to get it. But I mean, he's a vulnerable guy, so.
Yeah, Cal's a big puncher. He's a big puncher that way.
Exactly. So, I mean, against the volume guy, he'll have plenty of opportunities to let that power show. And
yeah.
I'd like to see that fight.
I love how no one's calling out anyway, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
man. You know, he's the boogeyman, man.
Exactly. Everyone forgets about him like they forget about Triple G.
Halling didn't mention that name, did he?
Nope.
Fucking did. Probably never heard of him, to be fair. But I thought, that body shot was brutal. I mean, he went down like he'd broken his spine or something.
He chopped him in half. That left hook to the body chopped him in half.
Brutalized him.
But even before that, when he hit him with the right hand at the top of the head, man, that took him out as well. That was a nice shot. I expected more from Flores, because like Naota's saying, I saw the Kudras fight and he did okay until he obviously got stopped. But I didn't expect him to get knocked out in the first round.
But people were saying on Twitter that he was past it. I don't really know much about him, but a lot of people were saying it was going to be an easy fight, and they were right.
What, a lot of people saying that beforehand?
Yeah, there's people saying it beforehand. But my concern with Cal is that his level of competition to this point, and then to jump into a world fight is going to be a big... Because there's no little guys to fight over here.
I think he's good enough, though. I think he'll give...
Oh, you think he's good enough, but that is going to be... That's the big test for him, isn't it? It's a jump up.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but at the same time, like I mentioned, I mean, Kono's probably the most vulnerable of the 4 champions, so he'd be the perfect guy to really test that against. You know what I mean? He doesn't present like a degree of slickness the way McJoe Arroyo does. Carlos Quadras is like a good counter puncher, so he's difficult. And then now Inoue has he may knock your ass out in the first round. So, I mean, Kono doesn't present the same level of spoiler effects or like knockout danger. So
does he have a big promoter over there now? Will he have to travel, do you think, to get that fight, Cal? Or do you think he can get him over here?
Well, I mean, considering Kono was on PBC this last time, it seems like he had like his promoter's willing to kind of, send him wherever.
Is he with Tekken? Who's he with? Do you know?
I'm actually looking it up right now. I forgot.
It's the same guy that Warrington's fighting. That Warrington's fighting the Japanese guy soon. It's the same promoter.
Amagasa guy.
Kono's promoted by a smaller promoter. He's not promoted by Tekken. He's promoted by Watanabe. Watanabe is more of like a I guess you'd compare him to Lou DiBella as opposed to like Top Rank. Like Tekken is Top Rank.
The thing is, like, those Japanese guys get paid well over there, don't they? So I think Hearn would struggle, especially with him being a cheapskate. I think he'll struggle to get.
Yeah, exactly. He hasn't got PVC money, has he? That was before Uncle Al's money looks like it might be running out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was the surprising thing that Kono versus Kameda was in the United States in the first place because
he's got all the Kamadas, hasn't he? He's got the Kamadas, hasn't he? Heyman, all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
yeah. All right.
Yeah, but I mean, either way.
Yeah. Anything else regarding the Carl fight? Nope. Let's talk about his brother then, the Gamal Yafai.
Yeah.
That was an enjoyable fight, Leon. I enjoyed it.
He's a tough bastard, that guy, isn't he?
You know what? He looks like a guy that's just always angry. Like, you can see him in the shop saying, yo, I want a chocolate bar, I want a drink. And it just seems like he's just full of spite because every punch he threw was like with bad intentions. And at times, I wish he mixes punches up a bit more, you know, because he can box on the back foot. But it seems like he always wanted to throw like a power shot.
He was wild, wasn't he? He was a bit sloppy and he kept on getting tied up in those first 5 or 6 rounds, didn't he? He kept on clinching quite a lot, I thought, when the guy was trying to get inside of him, which is you don't like to see too much clinching. But that guy took some heavy shots. I mean, he's a big puncher as well.
Yeah, Bobby Jenkinson took some
heavy shots, man.
Especially the one two that dropped him as well. That was a beautiful combination, man.
But then he was ragdolling him for the next round, didn't he? All over the ring.
I've got to say though, like, when a lot of kind of relatively novice pros like get caught, it can throw them off their game. But he got cut in the 4th round, and it was a bad cut.
Oh, it was horrible. They did a close up on for no reason on Sky. It was unnecessary. Did you see that?
Yeah, it looked like a little chasm, didn't it? Like a little fucking.
And his corner was saying, "Oh, don't worry, it's just a little nick."
But you know what though, he handled it well. It's like he didn't even get cut, like, and the cut man did a good job because after that round, man, like it wasn't really bleeding that much.
But he stepped up as soon as he got cut, didn't he? He knew, right, okay, they might try and he might get stopped by the doctors, and that's when he went for him.
Yeah,
so it's good to see rather than panicking.
Yeah. No, but man, I'm impressed with him. That was I think it was his 9th fight.
Yeah, I've always liked him. I think he'll be in more fun fights over here because it's a better weight division, isn't it?
Yeah, I've liked him. I just thought sometimes, he gets hit. And all. Go on, Noto.
Go ahead. No, I was gonna say if Frampton winds up moving up, that's 2 vacant titles right there. I'm wondering if they might put him in line for one.
I think he's a little bit off that, but he gets hit a lot now. He got hit a lot, I thought, didn't you?
I thought he did, but Eddie's moving him fast because that was his 8th fight, and he fought for the Commonwealth against Jenkinson. So Eddie seems to be wanting to, move him on quick and getting some big fights. So
that's good. It's good. It's good to see.
I could see in-house fights though. Like maybe the thing is Eddie doesn't like to put his guys together though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, because he's a bit way off if he's not ready for a Quigg or if Jamie McDonald moves up, is he?
But I think McDonald would school him on the back foot. But I think him and Quigg would be a war. Maybe not yet, but like maybe in the 18 months down the line, him and Quigg would be a war. But by then, Quigg would probably have stepped up to featherweight anyway.
Yeah, but he's a big guy as well. You can see him going through a few weights.
Yeah. Both of the FIs are actually. I mean, like even Cal, I don't imagine he's going to be at 115 too long.
No, I don't think so. I think because there's not much for him to. I mean, how many really good fights are there? It's just the 4 fights, really, isn't there?
That's the thing. Like those lower weight divisions, they're not got the
the one that could be there is Gonzalez if he moves up. He'll bring a lot of attention, but
Butler, he's got the Butler as a domestic fight, but I think he might.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. And then he has a couple of domestic fights at 118. You got Stuart Hall over there, and like 1 or 2 other guys too.
Yeah, absolutely. But no, I think they're all both those brothers to move through the weights.
Yeah,
I like them. For some reason, a lot of the British fans don't seem to like them, and I've heard a few other people saying, and they're not interested in them. I've always liked those brothers. I mean, they can be a complete bellend sometimes, can't they? Both of them, but I like them.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes you got to do that to get attention.
Yeah,
True.
yeah. I think Cal's a bit mouthy, isn't he?
Yeah. Leon, did you ever notice Halling doing the post-fight interviews before?
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, it felt a bit weird, didn't it? Like,
yeah, because it's just pushing it. Was Ed Robinson did the presenting, didn't he? Or did I miss that? Was he presenting the?
I can't actually
from
remember.
ringside. I think
it was because Nelson wasn't there, was it? Yeah, I think it was Robinson.
because I like Ed Robinson, so more Ed Robinson.
Less Nick Halling.
Yeah. And then Paul Smith was there, just annoying the fuck out of everyone again. And Martin Murray said something really retarded, but I can't remember what it was. I meant to write it down.
Martin Murray or Jamie Moore?
Jamie Moore, sorry.
Don't diss my Mancunian brethren. Southpaw brethren at that.
Hey Cam, all you Mancunians look the same to me.
Even the Pakistanis.
All of you.
You're going to get beat up next time you're in Manchester, bro.
No.
All right. Anything else regarding this card, guys?
Oh, we've got to go to the big knockout, French versus Rooney. Did you see that little, what was it, a kind of area level fight?
I didn't see that one.
Do you see that, Cam? That knockout?
Remind me, what happened?
It was within the first 30 seconds, kind of little stocky black guy.
Oh, yeah. Came out and bang. Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I bring that up is because that was another L for the MGM Marbella, the home of the L, home of the losers, home of the bums. Another massive L.
You know you're not going to be allowed in Marbella, don't you? Like,
I ain't never going to that fucking
Leon's going to get kicked out of a bunch of places, man.
Yeah, Leon just don't go abroad anywhere, Leon. Just stay at home.
That's why I've moved to the fucking middle. That's why I've moved out of London to the middle of nowhere. Can't get myself in trouble.
No one can get hold of you.
No, I'm only, but I just think it's hilarious that losing. How many big fights have they lost? Not big fights, but how many consistent fights have they lost recently? The MGM.
Yeah, they're not having a good run. I think all their guys just go to Marbella and just start partying and don't concentrate on boxing. But
and hopefully Brian Rose will cut the head off the beast, and knock Macklin out.
That would
I'm all about that.
That would be amazing.
It would be hilarious.
Yep.
Truly shot.
Let's move on. Nota, I know you watched this shit. I watched it as well. There was a nice YouTube stream on Friday night. Yamanaka versus Elise.
Oh yeah, Yamanaka Solis, man. It was solid, and I mean, well, what did you think of it first? I want to hear your thoughts.
I thought it was a good scrap, man. Good backs and forths. Like Yamanaka was down twice, I think, in the third. Solis was down in the second and ninth. Ian John Lewis was the ref in Japan. Leon, can you believe it?
Really?
Serious, man.
I am the referee.
He wasn't really involved in the fight that much. He didn't really need to be involved, but it was just weird seeing him.
That's not like him, is it?
Huh?
That's not like him. Is it? Fuck's sake.
That's true, but I thought it was a good scrap, Naoto, man. I enjoyed it. I thought the scorecards were maybe...
they were too wide.
Yeah, a bit too wide. Yeah, they could have been closer.
Solis gave him hell. Yamanaka, even though he won most of the rounds, he had to earn it every single round because Solis was in there,
applying
he was
the
in there
pressure.
trying to win it. He was in there trying to knock his ass out, and he dropped him, so he came pretty close.
Yep.
But I mean, Yamanaka, man, he's a survivor because I mean, he probably should have lost to Anselmo Moreno. He scraped that one out. When he fought Soryang Sorungvisai of Thailand, he scraped that one out. That was a tough ass fight. Yamanaka, I mean, and I guess that's the reason why the Ring Magazine have him number 9 pound for pound right now. Personally, I think Inoue probably deserves that spot more than he does because he's not even ranked top 10. But Yamanaka is I think it's just the fact that he's been a champion for several years now and he's repeatedly defended his title against top notch opposition, man. He's fighting really, really strong opponents and knocking out most of them, albeit, going to decision against Solis and Moreno more recently. But, I mean, it was a damn good fight. I mean, everybody in the chat, check it out on YouTube if you get a chance to.
Definitely.
And did you get a chance to see the other fight on that card, Yu Kimura?
No, I saw the link up there, but Saturday, Sunday, and even today, I had to catch up with so many other stuff. And I ain't gonna lie, Naoto, man, I find it hard watching. I've seen Yamanaka before, so I was interested in his fight, but I find it hard watching those Japanese fights because I need some English type of commentary.
Right,
yeah, definitely. I hear you. but yeah, no, Kimura was a big favorite going into this fight, which is kind of strange to me because I thought that Kimura kind of got his belt kind of unjustifiably when he
especially Guevara when he had that split decision as well.
Exactly, that's what I was talking about. He beat Pedro Guevara by split decision. I thought Guevara won that fight. Most people thought Guevara won that fight, but it was in Japan, so I guess he got the benefit of the doubt. But against Ganigan, and it's funny because Ganigan Lopez had fought Guevara
and he beat him on UD. Yeah, it's kind of like a weird triangle where he's beat him and he's beat him.
Exactly, because Guevara, that was an eliminator for the belt in the first place. Guevara beat him by a close decision, and Ganigan Lopez wound up getting a shot at Kimura after the fact. And if you watch the fight, Lopez dominated him. He won it like more than clearly. He's Southpaw brethren for you, Cam. So I mean, I'm sure you'll enjoy that. But the funniest thing is he was doing a lot of feinting, and he was able to actually come in with body shots, like left crosses to the body, and they were like hooking crosses. So he was hitting the guy right on the liver, and he was hitting him with tons of body shots, and he was doing like almost a little Pernell Whitaker inside where Kimura would try to hit him and he just couldn't, and he would counter with hard body shots and then shoot the jab after the fact to get a little distance off of him. And I mean, it was just a beautiful display of boxing and just sheer dominance, and he did a good damn job.
Yeah,
and he won the title. So I mean, I'm sure he'll probably wind up rematching Guevara, to finish up the triangle.
Yeah, in the prediction league, I did end up picking Kimura by like a split, but beforehand, I was looking at his resume, and his first loss was to a southpaw, so I thought, but his second loss was to Taguchi, so he's orthodox. So I thought maybe he's had some good southpaw sparring and it'll be okay. But yeah, he lost again to another southpaw. So my brethrens are his nemesis.
Yep, very much so.
All right, let's move on.
Lopez schooled him. So I mean, even though it was a majority decision, that judge that had it a draw was like he must have been out to lunch or whatever, because the other two judges had it accurate. I had it 11 rounds to 1, just like one of the judges. The other judge had it 10-8, so. Or 10-2, rather.
One judge went for lunch.
Yeah, for real.
All right, let's move on. Talk a bit about the Predictions League. My girl, the queen of the Predictions League, Cesar, still in first position. Mo Intense still in second. Chef jumped up 9 places into third. Johnny Beads 4th. Low Country's 5th. Boss Up 03 is in joint 6th with Lucan Nikola Radic. 7th we have Lamarcus Malvo. 8th we have James McMahon 1. Joint 9th we got Jack A26 and Marky Mark 6. And in 10th we got Sully Boxing. And a shout to all the people in the chat. We got Casual Fan, Basileos, Nothing for Something, Joey D14, J Swee the A-Side, Wasif 1, Super Merc, Shams 1000, Marky Mark TMT, Lucan Nicole Radic, Colm, Court Music, Bill Bones 101, Mr. Dermo, Nesmatic, Davy Boy Essex, Tony Yayo, Ayo Boosie 12, Tico, Danny Yankee, PM versus Jack Captain, Luke in LA, The Compa, Pinhead 360, Chad Lad 1, Zulo 90, Loco Mexican, Diehard Casual Fan, and 18 guests. Thank you guys. Just want to also say, some people say they have issues with Mixler. So for the past few weeks, we've been trialing having the show live on YouTube as well. So if that helps you guys, it's also live on YouTube. It is a bit of a delay from the feed on Mixler, probably about 20 seconds. But it's a nice crisp line, so if that makes it easier. Obviously the chat's a bit dead over there, so you might want to listen on YouTube if you're having issues with listening on Mixler, but still follow the Mixler chat, but that's totally up to you guys.
Well, before we move on, did any of you guys see Margarito Paez?
No, I didn't see it.
I'm not watching that fucking freak show.
It was a fun fight though. I mean, Paez actually dropped Margarito in the 4th round. Margarito managed to get up and almost stop Paez in the last round in the 10th. And then Margarito went on to a unanimous decision. It was a fun fight, though. I mean, yeah, it's a freak show. I mean, yeah, Margarito's eye looks crazy as fuck. But, I mean, I'm sure he's going to wind up fighting Shane Mosley in a rematch, which, really is
another freak show. It shouldn't be sanctioned for Margarito to be fighting. I mean, just shouldn't be.
That's actually true. I think he's going to have a... Well, actually, I shouldn't even say he's going to have a tough time. I mean, shit, they sanctioned fucking Jermaine Taylor, so...
What weight was this at now? Was it 154?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cam, you know Joe Gallagher's going to want that fight for Liam Smith in Anfield.
Yeah, that's
nailed on. Gallagher will come out of that one soon.
Yeah, Hearn will be promoting the fuck out of that.
Oh yeah, they're dying for that fight.
The legend Margarito.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Replays of the Cuttle fights, the Mosley fight, everything.
Yeah, replays from like 10 years ago, and Margarito was destroying everybody.
Yep. Okay, Kev's back. I forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about the Anton Douglas fight with Curtis that Steve Farhood at the end was pretty bad.
The whole thing with them interviewing him was bad. Like, we mentioned the fight could have been stopped earlier. Like, this dude should have been in the back, like in an ambulance or getting examined and taken care of. And they have him seated. You could tell he was just out of it. Like, he didn't know where the fuck he was. And they're asking him Max Kellerman type 8-part questions. And how do you feel? How do you think he feels? He just got fucking concussed in a big step-up fight. And he shouldn't have been there. Like, oh, he's gracious doing this with us. Like, there's a reason why you're saying that, because normally these guys don't ask to do that, because humanitarily you shouldn't be. Like, it was inhumane. It was just, you could just tell there was just something not right about it. You're looking at a guy who's just staring off into space and emotionally hurt and just physically battered. Like, his head was, he just wasn't there.
And
I just thought it was fucked up.
To add to that, when he's in an ambulance, like, they're filming him shit, man. Like, give the guy, some respect, Like, they're filming it and saying, yep, you're just taken to the hospital just to have a check over. Like, give him some privacy, man. The guy just got beat up.
They were filming in the ambulance. What's going to happen next? Triple H is going to drag him out the back of it with a fucking sledgehammer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like it was a storyline. It was like it was a WWE storyline and shit. Like, what the fuck?
Stone Cold gonna do elbow drops right on his dome.
To be honest, they weren't in the ambulance. They was outside the ambulance, but still, they could see him through the window of the ambulance.
That's still not good.
Yeah, it's still a bit over the top.
It's almost worse.
Yeah, I think between the corner handling him and Showtime handling him was just the exact way of not to handle a young prospect after a tough fight or during a tough fight.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I've let my WWE side come out. I love a WWE reference.
The chat loving the WWE references.
Yeah, no, the sad thing about that though is, like, back in the back in the day, whatever, they didn't do that shit. Like, even on TV, even when you had fights on TV in the 80s and the 90s or whatever, they didn't do that shit. Stuff like that. I mean, you're fucking liable to humiliate some young guy and, basically, like, destroy the kid's fucking confidence before he even gets started.
Yeah, but even if you plan on doing it and you go over there and you see the guys, like, staring off into space, like the 1,000-yard stare instead of looking right at you, like we'll just do this another time. Let's get him out of here. Because you see it all the time. Like, I remember, like, after Tyson got knocked out by Douglas, and he's like, "What happened?" What do you mean what happened? You got knocked out. Like, you just don't know. You're concussed. Yeah. There's no way you should be sitting there, because there's no way you could stand. So they have him seated. Yeah. And what was the doctor doing? In his right mind, he should have been like, dude, get fucking lights out of this guy's face. Like, he just got drilled. We need to get him in a dark room in the back and have him looked at and get him in the ambulance. Like, that's what they're there for. And it was just bad. Like, it's something that shouldn't have happened. Like, I felt the fight could have been stopped earlier, and he took too many punches that he didn't have to take. And then when they did that to him and they just left him basically stripped butt naked right in front of the camera, embarrassed him like that, it was cringeworthy. It's something that shouldn't have happened, and it was bad.
Yep. I like Farhad, man, but that was a bit too much for me. But
and then Farhad goes over there. Farhad goes over there to the translator, and talking to the other guy, and you could tell the translation just wasn't picking up. And he kept asking the same questions, like, dude, give it up. It's not getting answered. All your boy's saying is he wants to fight somebody next, anybody, that's it. Stop keep asking the same question. It's not getting answered. You know, some shit don't translate, and sometimes people just don't give a fuck.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. No, but sometimes the one exception I give to the, don't interview a guy after you just got wrecked is Juanma Lopez when he was talking about the gambling referee after the Salido fight, after the first one, blaming it on the gambling ref, because that was classic.
Even like Broner Maidana, I know people are quick to shit on him because the way he left the ring after, he didn't take his medicine and stuff like that, but I personally thought he broke his jaw. I saw the ref look in, go to his mouth, say something, whatever. It turns out it wasn't, and then they got him in the ambulance or in the back and talked to him. But even then, like, I give a pass because it's just you don't know how badly someone's fucked up, and to be in a ring with all that light and all that commotion and everything going on, it's basically not the right place.
That's actually a good point, Kev. I mean, after any type of like really sustained beating or a knockout like that, I mean, the first thing they should be looking for is to get medical attention with the guy, because we always hear all these stories about like, oh, well, like a couple hours later, the guy's brain swelled up and then, they went to a fucking coma or whatever.
To rep the flag, though, I think the Brits do that really well. Even with the Kyle Yafai fight against Flores, that body shot, they kept him down, make sure he was okay when they got him on the stool, give him some oxygen. The Brits have always been good with that. After some of the tragedies,
not always been good.
Yeah, I was going to say after some of the tragedies. Yeah.
McClellan and old boy, but if we could interview Juan Manuel Marquez butt naked with a cowboy hat in the back, like we could give anybody a few minutes to go in the back and get settled. Communicate back there. Like, hey, could he do an interview? Is he ready, or does he have to get in the ambo? Like, there's no reason why you have to do it right away, especially when you could be interviewing the winner first. Instead, you went right to the loser that just got battered for rounds, and it could have been stopped earlier, and they didn't stop it, and it felt not as severe, but kind of similar to the Tapia-Kirkland fight, where the corner was just sending him out there, just telling him to get motivated and go out there to get his brains beat in, and it wasn't. You could just tell he wasn't going to keep guy off him. So at that point, just stop it and let him come back and fight another day, and then after the fight, if you cared about the guy, you would get him the fuck out of there instead of putting him in front of the camera like that.
Yep. Let's move on. A few topics in the news today. Well, not today, but one of them was
recently.
Today. Yeah, recently. One of them was today with the Billy Joe Saunders announcement of his next opponent. You guys heard about this? It's fucking...
Oh, no, who's he fighting?
Bullsack.
Max Bursak.
Who? Max
Bursak. So when you answer a question with who, it's never a good thing, is it?
He lost to Gerald Fletcher, who Billy Joe Saunders knocked out in 2 rounds. So
I know
incredible step backwards. It's an awful fight.
Is his name Max Balsack, you said?
I was waiting for somebody to drop that.
I was added a little bit of, a bit of extra there. It's not Bullsack. Bursack. It might as well be Bullsack.
It's like Bursack versus Turdsack.
I'm sure he ain't shit compared to Turdsack.
is there any way that Turdsack can move up to 160 so we can have a super fight?
Possibly, man. That would have a great headline. Ballsack versus Turdsack.
Yep.
But
whoever loses has to cut off their balls and provide it to their opponent.
Get neutered.
Exactly.
The Unsullied.
Yeah, this is the stakes are much higher than winner or go home. You're literally losing everything.
Yeah. What's happening,
new meaning to putting their balls on the line.
What's happening, Dan?
Not much. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're good, man. Anything you want to talk about?
No, I mean, I don't watch too many of the fights. I just saw the Ortiz fight and the Vargas Ali fight.
Just give us your thoughts, then.
Yeah, then Jesse Vargas definitely impressed me.
It's Vargas around here. It's not Vargas.
Okay, Vargas.
Vargas, the way everybody's pronouncing it.
I was never high on Saddam Ali, but at the same time, I wasn't high on Vargas either, so I can't really say shit. But Vargas, I like Vargas' new fighting style, and I know it's crazy to say that because how many trainers has he had in the past, like his entire career?
About 7.
Eric
And
Morales,
it's
Roy
crazy.
Jones Jr., this new guy, the guy that trained De La Hoya.
His current trainer is a fucking kickboxing trainer. The guy.
Well,
Dewey
his current,
Cooper.
yeah, Dewey Cooper was a kickboxer himself. He used to fight
Yeah,
K1.
he trains primarily MMA fighters, which I find really interesting. But I can't really knock the guy because Vargas had one of his best performances in his career. But yeah, man, I've always thought Saddam Ali was endurable, and I felt like this fight kind of proved that. And even though he's very, very quick, again in that fourth round when Vargas landed those left hooks, I mean that was a great round. But after that, it just seems like Saddam Ali's will just completely left the door. But at the same time, I don't really give a shit about Vargas either. I mean, do you guys really want to see Bradley Vargas rematch?
I do.
There's not much else Top Rank could give you, know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think he earned it. Like
Timmy.
Naota said, you go on TV, you knock a guy out in a 50-50, it's kind of the way to get a rematch. And
Well,
I also give him credit for him calling him out and basically saying whatever happens with those two, I want Bradley next. So I think that's cool.
Well, I mean,
think that's stupid.
not even just the 50-50, but I mean, Ali was the one that they were in talks to have fight Bradley. If Bradley hadn't if Pacquiao had fought Crawford, Bradley was going to be fighting Ali. So Vargas knocked off the next potential contender. So.
Yeah, that's fair. It's just it still doesn't erase the fight that they had previously, where I felt like Timmy dominated that fight, and I don't really like Timmy, but I felt like Timmy just cleaned that fight until at the end of that fight. But I don't know. That fight reminded me a lot of Martinez Chavez Jr. So, and if you ask me if I wanted to see that rematch, Chavez Martinez, I would have said 100% no.
Very true. Domination, and all of a sudden we're supposed to forget about that because of 30 seconds. You know?
Exactly. But regarding the fucking Ortiz fight, I mean, that was just a circus fight, man. I mean, Ortiz's belt wasn't even on the line, right? Because they didn't sanction that fight.
Yeah, I didn't think they let him put it on the line.
That was fucking ridiculous, man. I think Tony Thompson probably had too much pre-fight sex with his wife, so he didn't have the energy to fight Ortiz.
Breaking her hip again.
He retired right after the fight. He's done.
Maybe that's why he needed the paycheck, because all of the beds that he broke, you know? Anyways, yeah, that's all I got to say, guys.
You know it's bad when Lampley's comparing your build to Gumby and shit like that. That's not really how you want to get out there.
He actually did as well, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Or in pre-fight when they're showing you warm up in the background and you're swinging and missing on pool noodles. So it's not really a good look either.
Yeah, and that's an accurate assessment because fucking not for 1 second did I think Tony Thompson would be a threat, and that takes a lot for me to say because I feel like in heavyweight fights, the opponent always has some kind of chance of doing some kind of damage, but I never felt that way in this fight.
There's usually a puncher's chance unless it's a washed up Tony Thompson.
Yeah.
Who never could punch when he was a prime guy.
Yeah. And that overhand left for Ortiz was just, he could just throw that shit loading up all he wanted and it still would have landed. Crazy.
Dan, that's why I said he choreographed it every time. Like he turned it, showed it, and then threw it. Like it was like a movie. It was like he was just showing it like they were filming a movie in a fight scene. It was bad.
Well, because he was feigning it to try and see if Thompson would react, and he didn't. So he just threw it. That's exactly what he was doing.
Yeah, but that's all I gotta say, guys. I'm still depressed because I'm not quite sure if all of you know, but I was in Vegas this weekend for the UFC fight, and my boy lost. So I think you guys are the only. You guys are the only reason why. You guys are the only reason why I'm still alive.
You guys got to tell Chemo to stop jumping on bandwagons. The Black Widow strikes again, man.
He's the curse.
Whether it's MMA, soccer, boxing, anything he starts riding with, they're going down.
Doesn't he work in finance over there? He'd be a nightmare.
I bet his company's lost loads of money.
Left, right, and centre.
They probably go into board meetings like whatever fucking Chemo endorses, we'll wait till he leaves before we say we're going the other way.
Like, dude, we need to jump on the BlackBerry bandwagon. It's a lock.
That's why Chemo had to move, guys. Didn't you know?
Yeah, buying all that Enron stock.
Yeah.
Was it a good atmosphere though? You liked it?
Nah, I'm not. I have too much respect for Cam and the coalition to go on that rant, but it was great. I'm sure it was, just to get it back to boxing, I think it was probably very similar to Frampton Quigg, that atmosphere.
That'd be good then. It would have been good.
Yes, sir.
What's the capacity of the MGM?
14,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Which makes it more impressive when Mayweather gets those huge gate numbers for just a small arena, banging people out for those celebrity prices in the first couple of rows.
Yep.
For only 14 grand to be pulling those type of gates is unreal.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
People will buy any old shit, Kev, won't they?
Well, we saw right after, once there was no Pacquiao fight on the horizon, and there was no threat of him, losing, like the Berto fight, you saw what his real value is. So that's why he retired. Anybody he fights next, he's going to do like 400,000. No one's paying a guy 32 million for that.
Maybe Floyd was right in that boxing fans are racist because they want to see him lose that bad.
Yep. Boxing's racist. All the highest paid guys are black, but they're racist.
All right, let's move on. Go back to Billy Joe. Leon, shit fight for first defense.
Terrible fight for first defense. If it's a step down, if you've knocked a guy out in 2 rounds and your next opposition has lost to that guy, it's pointless. Yeah. They were talking about Endam. Why couldn't they have got him? And then they're talking all this kind of fucking pish about, we're going to fight Triple G in the summer. Did you see the press conference, Cam?
To be honest, no. I hate press conferences, and I hate Box Nation ones even worse. I
turned off. They were talking this shit, and then they were also saying, "Why is it then? Whenever I hear a Billy Joe and Frank Warren press conference interview, they're always talking about Eubank. They're always talking about Eubank, talking about them." When I haven't heard Eubank talk about it in ages.
It's because
they've always got the name in the mouth.
Because they did what everybody else did. They say when they're fighting a shit fight, they talk about fighting Triple G next to try to justify their shit fight now, and for people to say, it's all right because Triple G's next. But you can already tell the way they're talking about Eubank, they're setting up that rematch next, and they're going to say, well, the money's with Eubank, it's not really with that. And I think boxing's just fucked up now where a guy wins a belt or has a title and they just get excused for a first defense to fight shit guys, and everybody excuses it. Well, it's a first defense, and they just accept bullshit. And I think it's fucked up, man. How is it excusable when you're a champ and I don't.
That's the point. These people see getting the belt as an opportunity to print money, don't they? They think, I've got the belt now, I can cash in. But fighting these people doesn't matter. The big money's in the big fights, but yet they try and protect themselves.
And I blame the sanctioning bodies. They shouldn't sanction that shit. I don't voluntary, mandatory, whatever. I think there should be a certain level of expectations once you're a champion. I mean, I could see if you want to fight it somewhere and a couple people turn down the fight, so you're forced to go, a few names down. But it's fucking bullshit.
I would have been happy with Endam, but Bursak's 3-3 in his last 6 fights.
He's not even top 30.
Yeah, 3-3 in his last 6 fights, and he's getting a title shot. Even
Bursak shouldn't even be anywhere near an eliminator, let alone a title shot.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it's just, and why? And the other thing is, if they're saying they're going to get this big money fight, why risk fighting this guy and then you don't know something might go horribly wrong and then your money's gone? I don't understand. If you've got the belt, you should make the biggest.
Because nothing's going to go horribly wrong fighting.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the problem. And that's why people always say, well, they're on edge. Anything could happen. I'm like, no, anything can happen. These guys never win. It's like a Fletcher versus Jacobs. Nothing can happen. They're going to lose. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's sad that boxing allows this. And I think I mentioned last week when you have 4 different organizations or sanctioning bodies, and if you're a champ or a super champ or a fucking paper champ, you can't be ranked in the other organization, so that limits who could be fighting and what goes next, and it's just bullshit that we accept. Well, it's his first defense, let's accept it. That's what we said for Kell Brook, and now 3 fights later, he's still fighting nobodies,
Yep, and now he's got another defense, another mandatory, which is shit. But yeah, shit fight. I'm not happy. I wish Ari was here to defend it, but I don't think Ari would be able to defend his boy Billy Joe.
This is undefendable. You can't defend this fight.
No.
And it's just, who are they selling these tickets to? It's not like this is a good enough. He's not like a massive ticket seller. It's just be another terrible Frank Warren show.
Yeah, the stadium's going to be half empty.
They're putting bad shit fight. Yeah. Well, I say that, but they put on good fights sometimes. But it's like now they've got a world champion. Make the most of him. Make great fights. But
yeah,
I don't know, man.
The copper box will be half empty, man. And now they haven't got Frank Buglioni either to sell tickets, so.
Because I was thinking if that was Endam at the copper box, I would have gone to that.
Yeah,
I
would have probably went to that. That's a good fight. If there was a few decent undercard scraps as well.
Yeah, I would have gone to that, but it's just a nothing fight with a load of, it'll be all the same usual suspects on the undercard fighting nobodies.
Yeah.
And then Warren does put on a good card and only 2,000 people turn up. He can't win, to be fair to him. What can he do? This is a good card on the weekend as well, and I bet no bum turns up.
Yeah, the one in Liverpool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good transition because
I know, Cam.
I don't maybe want to talk about it too much because I've not seen 100% confirmation, but I have read today that Rigo's not being allowed into the country for his visa situation. So, you guys got any confirmation or?
No, I saw a tweet from Jazza Dickens saying, no, it's all nonsense, the fight's still on.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, I was looking, because I had heard in the chat that had happened, and then I was looking around. I've been looking around for news articles on it, but I ain't seen nothing, so it looks like it's still on.
Yeah, because Rigo was in Russia on the weekend because he was supporting one of his fellow Cubans that was on that Russian card, so he may be still in Europe, so he probably tried to get in today, so hopefully that fight goes ahead because I think just beat that fight, even though I'm not the biggest fan of watching Rigo. I know his name does draw a lot of UK fans, so I could see with Flanagan and Matthews being a good fight. There's a few other good Tetes on the undercard as well. And then when Rigo got added to it, I could see people thinking, you know what, I might get a ticket to that. So it would have added to the ticket sales. So
it definitely added the hardcores to that. To that card because like all the people people we follow on Twitter are all hardcore people, and I know you saw a load of them just go, I'm not missing the opportunity to see him.
Exactly, just to see the guy live.
Because this is the perfect opportunity to step it up because he'll be in front of a crowd that a lot of them will be there to see him. So it won't, like that horrible fight he had last year in that arena where no one wanted to watch him. Well, at least over here there'll be some people who want to watch him.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if you were going to step it up, wouldn't it be on a pay-per-view under Cotto Canelo?
Exactly.
And he didn't do it. He didn't do it then either. So
against the guy that got knocked out in one round.
It's like a band that doesn't make it in America that come over here. You've got to get it right, otherwise they got to go.
Well, and he's got it. He really better get it right over there if he's calling out Quigg and Frampton nonstop. So, while avoiding other fights that were offered to him, he turned several fights down before he ever got Gian Francisco.
I could see better fights if the fight goes ahead on Saturday. I could see it be a good fight because Jazza Dickens does kind of bring it when he fights, and also when he fought Kid Galahad and Galahad was fighting in Southpaw, he was beating Galahad in Southpaw. Galahad kind of had to go back to Orthodox to kind of like to stop him. So. I could see Dickens having success against Rigo, but to be honest, if Rigo's on his game, I think he could probably stop Dickens.
Well, I think he might be a perfect opposition for him because he won't stop coming forward.
Yep.
So Rigo might have to knock him out.
Good point.
You know what I mean? He might have to do it just to get him off him.
Yep. I remember his fight with Galahad, man. That was a good fucking fight.
That was a great fight.
Yep.
I'm really looking forward to seeing my boy Tate again, though, especially after he humiliated Butler last year.
All right, don't have to say humiliated, man. Butler's my boy.
He fucking destroyed him, didn't he?
I know. We were live as well that time, and Ari was watching it at the corner of his eye on the TV, and he's like, "Nah."
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah, Butler's got dropped. I was like, "What? Fuck, man, my boy."
What was that? That was on a strange thing. It was on a Friday night, and what was the big Sky card? We were doing a chemo special for something, weren't we?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Was it Glofkin Lemieux?
Is that when Dude got dropped when we were doing it?
No, it was a lot. It was a lot before that.
It was a lot before that.
Yeah,
he dropped him hard. But Tete was saying, if they both win, he'll fight Rigo.
Yeah, I mean he'd
go up. He's massive at the weight, isn't he?
The thing is,
he just moved.
He stepped up to bantamweight, innit? Yeah, he just stepped up on him.
This fight is at bantam. His last fight was at bantam, and the thing is, he's fucking almost 5'9". So if he's gonna move up again, I mean, like it ain't no thing for him. I mean, the whole reason why he moved up is because the IBF has a next day weigh-in after the official weigh-in, and you have to be within 10 pounds of the official weight. So you have to weigh 115 on Friday, then say it's a Saturday fight, you have to weigh 115 on Friday, then you can't weigh any more than 125 Saturday morning, 12 hours before. and he was having trouble making both of those weights. So, that's why he moved up, because, he was rehydrating so much. It's like he was having trouble making, like, the rehydration, I guess, clause you might call it.
He's got that IBF belt, hasn't he? But him versus Rigo would be a good fight.
Well, he had it. He vacated it, and then Royal won it.
But he would step to Rigo.
He would.
Yeah. And that's what we need. We need people who are willing to step to him. And I know Rigo gets a lot of shit, and it's true. But, he does need... They haven't matched him well, have they? He needs someone to really put it on him to look good.
Yeah.
No, but the problem is he's turned down a lot of fights, too.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Fuck it. I don't want to see the best versus best anymore. I don't care about it.
So it's taking you a week to change it? That's all it took?
Well, generally the best versus best...
You better be trolling, Daniel.
I'm fucking trolling, man.
It's too hard. It's too hard to tell with you, Dan, because you're deadpan. You're deadpan.
The thing about me is, say if my brother was a pro boxer and he was ranked number 2, and if he fights this bum, he gets paid $500,000, and if he fights Rigo, he gets paid the same thing. I don't give a fuck. I want to see my brother fight fucking Rigo because I want to see how fucking good he is.
Exactly.
I don't give a shit about it's going to be entertaining or not. To me, like if you really believe in that kind of logic, you're almost tricking your brain in a sense in getting that kind of entertainment because you're saying, this guy is so fucking great, but against who? Like how is this guy testing himself?
And you can see that, and that's doubt creeping in and stuff. And I know, like I said, a couple guys that even if they lose, they're like, I just want a shot. I want to see how I do against the best in the world, and I want to challenge myself. And sometimes you get knocked out in 2 rounds. Sometimes you surprise yourself.
Well, and that's the thing.
Guys, let's face it. Why do we have a weekly podcast where we're analyzing and breaking down fights? To me, the ultimate goal is that we're assessing these fighters because we're saying how would they do at the ultimate stage, which is fighting against the best. Like, what's the other fucking point of watching sports? You know what I mean?
Sooner or later, it stops being a sport, doesn't it?
Exactly. And if the construct of true competition is not being managed properly in a fucking sport, then it no longer is a sport, man. It's just a fucking WWE.
Yep. Like I said, they're not even boxer businessmen anymore. It's businessmen boxing. It's all business first, and it's all money first, and it's sickening. Like, and it should be at the point where when you fight the best, you get the most money because it is the biggest fight, and it still is that way. But people are just content with making a certain amount, and that's it.
It's that way for certain guys, and then for others, they can break all the rules and basically make their own, like Canelo weight, basically.
Or like a Browne now. And Leon, I know you hate Sean Porter and stuff, or you don't like him, but say what you want about them. I think they're willing to fight anybody, anytime, and they prove it going in the gyms, and that's something that we should see more of. And he's been chasing this Thurman fight forever, and he still can't get it.
But the thing is, he's fighting for free this Saturday to just stay, sharp or whatever.
Shit. Thurman was so fucking scared of Porter, he was willing to have his friend crash into his car, man.
I think he was doing some accident fraud.
But just going back quickly, it's terrible, isn't it? When someone says, there's no money in the fight. Why should someone, if you're a really good boxer, you shouldn't need some big promotional company behind you pumping loads of money into you to get what you deserve if you're the best. And that's where I feel sorry for people.
Think about it from this perspective. Think about it from this perspective.
Go on.
In what other major sport do the fans of that respective sport have to pay so much fucking attention to the politics behind the sport? You know what I mean? Like, if you're an NFL fan, if you're a soccer fan, if you're a fucking basketball fan, do you have to study, like, the cap and the salaries of all of your fucking players to really enjoy and follow the sport properly?
Yeah, I call it shit for that. And it's like, I'm following the business because everybody keeps saying boxing is a business. Boxing is a business when they say fights don't happen.
No, and the thing is, they only really follow the cap and all that shit on the off season. That's before the any
before
of the
game
season
starts. Exactly. It's like us with transfer markets when players are moving between. That's only in the summer.
Yeah, but we don't have that though because boxing is all year round.
Yeah, no,
but that's not even the point, Cam. What I'm trying to say is that when we're actually breaking down fights and looking at potential matchups, we have to tell ourselves, wait, but this can't happen because this guy's managed by this guy. Oh, wait, but this can't happen because this guy makes this much money. It's like, fuck all that shit.
Yeah, and I hate it when you listen to some people and they're really condescending and they're like, well, what you don't understand is that boxing's a business. I do fucking understand it. I just don't fucking care. Fucking cunt. What's the sport?
I swear.
Business channel, you fucking dick.
Just like Donald Trump opened up Trump University, I feel like Floyd Mayweather should get some props for opening up the Floyd Mayweather School of Economics, because that's how all these fucking fans talk about the sport. Boxing's a business, man.
It allows the fighters to get away with this bullshit too. That's exactly what allows them to. That's exactly what allows Rigo to not sign with Heyman, avoid Ray Vargas, Tyson Cave, Oscar Escandón, Moises Flores, 4 of the guys that he avoided, and then fight Drian Francisco, who was a fucking nobody that got knocked out in one round at 115.
On the flip side, though, about that, Naota, if you're a promoter, right, and you have Rigo who's supposed to be the best, and you want to promote him, and every single network says he's fucking cancer, I don't want him on my TV, and you put him in the East Coast, you put him in the West Coast, wherever, and he empties out arenas, and you're a promoter who's trying to make money, even though he is the best, how do you approach that? I know if I'm trying to make money and this guy's destroying events, like he almost killed that crowd. If it weren't for that fight, which snuck up as almost fight of the year versus Cotto Canelo, that would have been bad. And if I don't fault the promoter for not wanting him on the card,
yeah, but
in a case like that, but that's an extreme case.
Over here, he can make money.
Well, here's what you could do with Rigo. Like, one, put him in on some of these Tuesday night knockout cards. Put him as the headliner. Promote him in Miami, actually, which is where Rances Barthélemy has drawn good crowds in the past. They've promoted cards out there. Tyson Promotions promoted a card out there with Erickson Lubin, for fuck's sake, and Lubin brought in a huge crowd. Not only that, but you can also promote him. Send him over to Japan here and there, fight a Japanese fighter. Send him to the UK, fight a British fighter. Send him to South Africa, fight a South African fighter. You know what I mean? Like, do whatever you got to do, but get at least just do it. I mean, it's really not rocket science with a lot of these guys.
Yeah, and the thing I don't understand is
match him well as well.
I don't understand why promotional companies haven't thought about sending Rigo to North Korea and fight a North Korean fighter, because that could be profitable as well. No, but in all seriousness, I agree 100% with everything you said. I don't understand why all of Rigo's fights have not been in Miami. And I know maybe that doesn't make that much of a difference, but it's
or Orlando.
It's so much smarter than putting him in the fucking New Jersey or Vegas, because he just doesn't sell in those markets.
It's going to make a bit of a difference, isn't it? Whatever people say about it, he's got to get a few more people through the door being down there.
Yeah.
But anyway,
people don't show up for sports in fucking Miami. They barely show up for LeBron James. They're not going to show up for Rigondeaux.
Okay.
Or Orlando.
Or just put Rigo in a 2-foot or 2x2 cage in with Chris Algieri and see who wins. You know, that'd be good, right?
Put him in the cage.
I'd watch that.
Steel cage match. See who gets out of the cage first.
Avocado is the prize.
Hell in the cell.
At the same time, I will admit though, Rigondeaux does present so many fucking problems, and this is coming from a person who hates the boxing is business bullshit, because he is such a fucking stinker of a fighter, man. Like, I agree with that 100%, because he's so hard to watch, and it almost seems like he sabotages fight purposefully, and I don't know how to combat that in a way that actually makes financial sense.
Well, and then here's the other thing too, is like he plays the diva politics himself. He wants to get paid gigantic amounts of money for Rod Salkas. And he wants to dictate all the terms. He wanted to freaking drain Nicholas Walters down to 122. Wanted to drain Lomachenko down to 124. Wanted to drain Abner Mares down to 122. And and then I don't know, man. It's ridiculous. Like there's a lot of hypocrisy with regard to him.
Why did he not chase that Quigg fight hard? Because that would have been good for him. He was a mandatory for years. And I know Hearn would have been, wouldn't have wanted to put his guy in there, but Rigo didn't even chase him or try and get the public on his side for that fight. Because we all, if he'd gone at him hard, all of us hardcores would have been going, yeah, we want that fight. Yeah, definitely. But, Quigg was avoiding it, and it seemed like Rigo was avoiding it as well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
And it doesn't help.
He has the Andre Ward syndrome. He just basically expects everybody to bow down and suck his dick, and then fucking, give him every negotiation tactic possible, pay him gobs of money, and then go in there with all kinds of handicaps.
Because he could have taken the Frampton fight, the Quigg fight, away from Frampton if he'd knocked him out 2 years ago and destroyed him.
That's true.
Then he would have got the Frampton fight, because Frampton have had nowhere to go.
And it doesn't help that Rigo's just so ugly.
He's a fucked up looking dude.
Yeah, when I see a close up of his face, I just want to turn the TV off immediately. So how can you market a guy like that?
Okay, let's move on. You guys got any news that you've seen that you want to discuss?
Well, Vladimir Klitschko wants to jump into the Olympics and fight teenagers.
Oh, actually, yeah, the Olympics situation, I think it's disgusting. I don't think professional boxers should be allowed into the Olympics, man.
Yeah, it's stupid.
bullshit.
Basically, if they do that, then fuck the amateurs. Fuck the amateur system in the first place. Just turn pro. As soon as you're 18, just turn pro because then there's no use. I mean, because what the main reason why people stay as amateurs, maybe like beyond the 18, 19, 20 years old, is to either win like the world championships or get an Olympic medal, which only happens every 4 years. So sometimes they have to wait until they're 21, 22. But I mean, if you're going to be fighting a fucking seasoned pro, and you're going to lose to him, and you're not going to get that prestige that you would have otherwise gotten, then what the fuck is the use of even staying as an amateur?
I don't know how they do it, but it just feels like it's another way for the Olympics to try and kind of. I don't know how they make more money from it, but it just seems like they're just trying to let these guys in.
Well,
for it
the way
to
they make
benefit them.
here's the way they make
some
more
way.
money. Here's the way they make more money because they don't have to pay the fucking fighters. The fighters are fighting. These are pro fighters fighting for free for them, and they're going to get shit tons of ratings for it. That's how they make money.
Exactly, yeah. Because if you end up with Mayweather versus Brooke or something, because they want the Olympic gold, they're going to draw figures, aren't they?
It'd be funny if a pro gets like knocked out or like schooled by amateur though.
That'd be hilarious.
It'd be funny if Gavin beat Floyd because he was the best amateur boxer we've ever had.
Yeah,
Well,
or to see Rasheed Warren school some fucking 126 champ. Can you imagine
exactly.
that fucking bum?
Lim, what's your thoughts on it?
No, I agree with all of your guys' sentiments. I think it's bullshit. There has to be some kind of classification and some kind of separation between the two because, like Naota mentioned, the only reason why some of these amateur guys or women stay so long in the fucking program is strictly because they want to gain that notoriety in the amateur levels. And if you create no separation between the two, there's really no point in having an amateur system to begin with.
And how do you build a prospect star like a Joshua if suddenly he's got to fight Klitschko when he's 18? You need the amateurs. They feed the pro game. I know a lot of us sometimes take the piss out of the amateurs and stuff, but we need that as a breeding ground.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the amateurs. There's a reason why the amateurs are only 3 rounds. As opposed to 12 rounds for a pro. There's a big fucking gap.
And it definitely helps with people's skill, with a lot of these pro fighter skills. We need it. We need it to stay amateur.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, amateurs suck in the U.S., so they can do whatever they want with it. Our system is fucking trash.
Well, I mean, that's exactly the reason why the American system isn't very good, because most of the best fighters, they turn pro as soon as they can. Sometimes they'll take a trip down to Mexico, turn pro there, and then...
And look, it works. Look at these Eastern Europeans. Eastern Europeans, these guys are doing so well because of their background. So they all came out of the amateur system.
But
so
Leon,
it does work for some people. It does work.
Well, in other countries, though,
it works. It's done well.
In other countries, though, the amateur system is state backed, so like their living expenses are all taken care of.
They get well paid for it, don't they?
Yeah, like fucking Zhou Shiming was a millionaire before he ever turned pro.
Yeah, it hasn't done him too well, has it?
I was going to say the same thing. Like amateurs over there, they stay because they're getting taken care of and treated well. Like it's not just boxing, wrestling, other sports where, especially you get some of these broke Eastern European places that have no money. And it's like, wow, if I just stay here and fight for my country or wrestle for my country or whatever, I'll be put up in a good complex and all my meals taken care of, everything taken care of. You just stay there.
Lomachenko was on $500,000 a year fighting for the Ukraine in the last couple of years because they wanted to keep him.
They're probably like these Ukrainians probably taking a pay cut coming to fight pro and coming over here, man.
Yeah, they do. I'm sure they do.
Yeah, Shiming did. So I'm sure they do because I mean China's probably got more money than in comparison.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Let's preview a few fights next week. Not much action. One card in Liverpool and Lemieux's comeback fight against De La Rosa, but I'll start with Flanagan versus Derry Matthews in Liverpool. Leon, what do you think of that fight? Who are you picking?
I'm picking, I think like most people, I'm picking...
Turbo Terry.
Turbo Terry, yeah, thank you. My mind went blank then. Yeah, I think People are saying it might go long, but I think he might smash him to bits.
I actually think
That's
it's
his
going to go long.
nickname, Turbo Terry?
Well,
Yeah, Turbo Terry versus Dirty Derry.
Yeah,
It's fight him, could you?
it's like a porn film.
They went fucking crazy on the alliteration on that one.
Yeah. So, but it's his 50th fight, Derry. For God's sake, that's a long career, and Terry, and old Turbo's been looking good, hasn't he? So I think he'll smash him to bits. If I'm honest,
I'm one of those people that think it goes long. Derry's always a tough guy. I know he's kind of getting to the end of his career.
He hasn't been in the ring for 11 and a half months.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, nearly a year.
What, since he fought Luis?
Yeah, he's getting smashed to bits. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, it can't be that long. I'm sure it's not been that long.
Let me check.
All right, but yeah, I think Matthews will cause Flanagan a few issues. I think Flanagan will still win maybe like 8-4, but I don't think he'll stop him. I've got a feeling that Flanagan won't stop Matthews.
I think he's done.
I like Flanagan a lot, so anybody listening, shoot me a link when this fight comes on inbox me on fucking Twitter.
Yeah, no,
I definitely need to watch this fight.
He last fought on April the 18th last year.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been a while, and that's he's 50 fights.
And that Tony Lewis fight, that was a close fight.
He's been knocked out 7 times, Cam.
Yeah, you know what? He probably will get knocked out. He's
going to get knocked out. I mean, and you know me, I'm always going to back against the Liverpool fighter.
Didn't they fought in prize fight as well, didn't they?
Yeah, and who won that?
I think Flanagan won it. Yeah,
Flanagan knocked him down a couple of times as well.
Yeah.
Does that guy even have a chin anymore? Like literally, the structure of the bone. Does he have a chin?
It's probably heavily damaged.
It's heavily damaged.
Yeah,
he got knocked out by Gavin Rees, man. By Gavin Rees.
That is bad.
His chin is
a tough little bastard.
No, the longer we talk about it, the more likely he is that he's going to get knocked out.
His chin is like if Victor Ortiz's chin and Amir Khan's chin had a son.
Look, Cam, Gary Buckland knocked him out in prize fighter in 2 rounds.
Yeah, what was I thinking when I said it's going to go long? I take
Scott
back everything
Lawton?
I said.
Scott Lawton, no. He's been knocked out by a load of people I've never heard of.
Oh, Bill Bones 101 made a good point in the chat as well. Derry is MGM. He's taking that L.
Oh, yeah. Home of the L's.
Yep.
I think we'll be lumping on Turbo after this.
Yeah. Anyone else?
Not on my recommendation. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't listen to Leon. But anyone else got any thoughts, or should we just move on?
I got Terry Flanagan.
Good pick, Naota.
What are they looking at next after this exhibition for him?
Probably just
because he's losing momentum after that fight, like early last year.
Well, this fight was supposed to happen a bit earlier, but Flanagan got injured, so it got pushed back. I think it's supposed to happen on Valentine's Day last month.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Jose Zapata cursed him. That's why. Because he's like, "Oh, you injured me. I'm gonna have my mom do the Pacquiao mama curse on you."
I won't mind seeing like if Zapata's fully recovered. I know he's had a few fights after that, and one was stopped early by was it a head clash?
Yeah.
And then the second one.
Yeah, he's had bad ass luck.
Yeah, and the second one, I think he knocked Ames Diaz out in the first round. But I won't mind seeing the Zapata rematch because I think Zapata deserves it, man. Because that first fight with Flanagan, is a freak injury, man. So I think he deserves another shot at the title.
Warren's pushing for that Crawler fight somehow. He wants that to happen because he knows that's his payday, doesn't he?
Do you think that Herm will
work with
Warren
see
for
that? Zlatan Cannon. We like Zlatan Cannon. That'd be a good fight.
That's a dangerous fight, though.
But it's a good fight, isn't it?
I'd love that fight, but I don't think Warren would do that, though.
Who else is there? Mickey Bay's in that one. No one wants to see that.
That's bad. Once we say dangerous fight, it's not going to happen. That's bad.
Yeah. And Linares is fucked, isn't he? He's injured and he's
champion in recess, I think. No?
Yeah. And there's Bartholomew.
He's shit, man. I could see him fighting him.
Yeah. I think Flanagan's number 1 in that division.
That's a bum ass division, man.
It's not really strong, is it?
I bet I could fucking pick some people off the streets in LA here and convert them into fucking top 5 guys at that weight division.
Dan training some lightweight beasts.
Exactly. Their diet consists of nothing but crack cocaine and fucking water, man.
All right, let's move on.
Banging some hookers on the side, a little grape soda.
Tony Thompson style.
All right, Naota, do you know anything about Tete's opponent? I tried to find a picture of him for the prediction leagues, but I couldn't, so I had to just put a generic photo.
I completely forgot who it was now. Let me look him up and see if...
He's fighting Jose Santos Gonzalez, 22-3.
Hey, now,
coming
so
off a loss.
What's the boxing scene like in the 105-pound division in Southeast Asia?
It's actually very lively. I mean, Wenheng Manayotin got a successful defense of his title last week with a knockout.
Guy's untrollable.
Hit him with that shit.
Wait, Manayotin is 41-0. 41-0. Remember that, 41-0.
Damn. He's better than Floyd, right? He's better than the TV.
Hey, he's getting there. He's getting there. 2 years, man. Give him 2 years. He fights about 4 times a year. So give him 2 years. He'll be right in line. Floyd's gonna have to unretire at age 43 or whatever.
You think he's good enough to the point where Chu would recognize him on the street?
Oh man, Manayotin will get in his face and hit him with a body shot, and then Chu will never forget who he was.
Nah, Chu still walk past the counter.
He'll limp past him.
Oh, talk of the devil, man. I think his ears are burning. Chu!
Yo, what's happening?
Chu Naota saying that a little flyweight or a little strawweight would drop you with a body shot.
A strawweight? Are you joking me? I would walk right past him.
What's happening, Chu?
I give you a little credit. Chad said you'd limp past him after the body shot.
No.
I'll step on him. What's happening, Dan? What happened to your boy Connor?
Hey, this is a boxing podcast. What are you talking about? Come on, God!
Now it's a boxing podcast.
Get him off the line. What are you doing?
Podcast.
No, true. I want to talk about that shit. I want to talk about that shit because that was one of the best fucking fights I've seen live. Right, so I'll take that shit. I'll take that shit over fucking mismatches any day of the fucking week. So please, if you want me to speak about it, I'll fucking speak about it.
Stop it, Chu.
I'll take that shit 50 times over fucking Canelo. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I tell you what. Listen, good fight it might have been. Terrible boxer. I thought this guy boxed.
I don't give a fuck, Chu. It's a good fight.
How you must have gave a fuck. You went to the fight. You bought a ticket.
I said I don't give a fuck from that perspective. I don't give a fuck from that. I don't give a fuck about it from that perspective. I'm saying from an entertainment value, which is critical, like you mentioned in previous shows. It was fantastic. That's all I gotta say. I'm not mad at all, man. I just like seeing good events and good fights. That's it.
And I appreciate that, Dan. But listen, when you're making impressions of the man, you're going to make a podcast of the man.
We still are.
Still are. Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, but
movement.
The punches that he's getting caught with is just
it's not the same sport.
Hey, he got beat up by Andre Ward's sparring partner.
It's not the same sport, man.
I'm sure that really hurt Kimo.
We'll talk about this later because we're gonna have a show and it's gonna be under the coalition umbrella. So all the haters out there that think if me and Kimo would ever deviate from our godfather, the Don Cam, that's not gonna happen because we love Cam obviously, but we're gonna talk about it. And when we do, you're more than welcome to be on the show.
Nice. I didn't catch any boxing at the weekend whatsoever. I caught a part of the Bradley fight. And that's it.
The Bradley fight? What fight was that?
Chu walked right.
Oh, Bradley Skeete.
Bradley Skeete, yeah. Yes, and fucking, it's quite a boring boxer, but he got the job done. So that's it.
Has KH started listening to some Cameron then, or is his phone ringtone Cameron?
I'm sure that's exactly what it is.
Yo, Kev, is your phone ringtone Cameron?
Nah, that's my bad. When he was talking about chin, I just put it on camera. I was thinking about, I noticed a nice chin, sturdy chin.
I'm sure you only got Cameron albums on your phone.
Yeah, I don't have much memory on my phone. I got the cheap joint, so that piff takes up most of my memory.
All right.
Yeah, but True, what's going on, my brother?
What's up, Dan?
Anything you want to talk about?
Nah, I'm just here to give moral support to my boy. I know Niota's back. The king of the flyweights. You know, I met a Geordie guy who kind of reminded me of Niota there. 2 weeks ago in Manchester. It was a fucking great conversation I had with him.
Oh yeah, what'd you talk about?
What's a Geordie?
A guy from the north of England, Finito Lopez.
Oh yeah, man. Finito was the all-time the greatest. 51-0-1, man. He was one of Floyd's favorite fighters too. Floyd actually studied him, you know, in terms of his abilities and stuff. You know, he tried to model himself a little bit after him because Lopez is
Floyd studies. I'm calling bullshit on that.
Oh no, yeah, that's true, Kev. I mean, like, no, he doesn't even know who he is.
Nah, bro, it doesn't involve any reading, Kev. It's visual learning. There's a difference.
Kev.
As he said, I don't watch tape. Roger takes care of that.
Kev, he was allowed to do drawings of him with crayons.
Nah, but for real though, like Lopez, when he was being promoted by Don King in the mid '90s, that was around when Floyd was still an amateur, and he would watch he'd watch him right there in the gym, and watch what all the things they did because everything was precise and perfect. You know, Lopez he's the one that Gonzalez is trying to live up to right now, and I don't. Some people they try to put him on that level, but to me, he's not at that level yet. Like he has to straight up retire undefeated multi-weight champ to match the level of dominance that Lopez had because he was dominant.
Who is his big fight? Is he the guy that did the first little man fight, $1 Million Payday? Is this him?
No, that was Michael Carbajal. That was Michael Carbajal, he was an Olympic silver medalist for the United States, and then he went on to make over $1 million for his 3 fights. For each of his 3 fights with Humberto Chiquita Gonzalez. They wanted Carbajal to fight Lopez.
My bad. Go on, Nato.
No, I was going to say they wanted Carbajal to fight Lopez, but Carbajal lost the second and the third fight with Gonzalez. And so, he spent all that time trying to regain the title. But Lopez went on his full reign completely undefeated, 51-0-1. He only got that one draw, was a technical draw to Rosendo Alvarez that he avenged after the fact by a split decision. And, otherwise, he was, all you need to do, watch some film of Ricardo Lopez, watch any of his fights, perfect technique. He almost never gets hit, and, he was completely dominant. He would obliterate guys.
Alice in Wonderland.
Pretty much.
All right, Drew, anything you want to talk about since you've come on?
Have you guys talked about Billy Joe Saunders' next opponent?
Yeah, we gave our 2 cents. What do you think of Bursak?
I've not heard of him. Bursak, who's that?
We can't even say 2 cents because that doesn't define the level of bum that Bursak is.
That's
not
true.
Even worth 2 cents.
Burlap sack.
Well, someone's jumped on the line that usually defends Billy Joe. So, Ari, what do you think of Billy Joe's first defense? Ari's probably just connecting his microphone or something.
He can't be bothered.
He's so unprofessional. Ari, you there?
Huh? What?
You there?
Yeah.
Billy Joe and Max Bursak.
Forget that.
You can't forget it.
Thing. This is the thing, Dan.
It was one of the greatest nights of my life.
I got welterweight. This is the thing.
Nah, I was so fucked up during the fight, I can't even remember it.
You don't remember that we were naked?
It must have felt like a dream.
I definitely do. I honestly, Ari, I haven't even seen the fight yet on replay. That's how fucking sad I am. But I'll tell you this much: I've never done so many. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save it for the after show. But I'll just tell you this: when I had pretty fucking good seats, and I can't even remember shit that happened during the fight.
Were you rolling?
This is a boxing podcast.
Dude got put it in the $1 Million Dream. I was waiting for him to stuff bills in his mouth when he was asleep over there. The $1 Million Man bought me a cat named Virgil. He was out.
Virgil Hunter?
Yep. The Whisperer.
All right, Cam, you gotta reel this podcast in. my man.
Chew
guys,
caused havoc.
I'm kind of glad, like, got loads of people on. It's nice to have. Let me go with Chew and Ari. Used to discuss Max Bursak.
Why would I want to discuss that bomb? This is the thing.
No. You
need to defend your boy, man.
I want to talk about Skeete's jab.
No. Before you talk about Skeete's jab, you have to.
No, I want to talk about Skeete's jab.
No. Before that, you have to give us your view on whether it's a good fight for Billy Joe Saunders.
How's it a good fight?
That's the answer we were looking for.
Exactly, that's all you have to say.
Let's talk about Skeete's jab now.
Okay, let me just get Chew's opinion. Chew, you never heard of Bursak before, no?
Nah, never.
So it's a shit first defence.
Terrible.
Alright. Go on, Ari, what do you want to talk about Skeete's jab?
I want to talk how clean it was.
Was it a clinic?
That 7th round was a clinic.
Hands low, just taking the piss out of him.
You looking like Mayweather in there.
I don't know about that. Calm down, bro.
I know about that. Eggington looked like he wanted to go back to maybe
the cave.
Yeah,
I don't know. He wanted to go back to. I'd say he go back to Birmingham, but he was in Birmingham. He looked like he wanted to go back to school.
Yep, it wasn't a good look for my boy Egg.
No, he got smashed to bits then.
I will say, Skeete did bore the life out of us at that Gavin fight when we were there live, but
yeah,
we all thought he won it though. Remember?
I think that's why we had the hate for him, innit, Leon?
Yeah, that's where it comes from, man. It wasn't fair.
We all thought he won that Gavin fight though. Remember, live? We were like, I think. Obviously, we didn't really.
Yeah, but that's because we hate Gavin even more than Skeete. That was the reason.
It's just. It was a poor matchup, but this is perfect for him, I thought.
Style-wise, perfect. Yeah,
perfect.
Props to him, man. He did well.
He did really well.
Yep. Anything else you want to talk about, Ari?
What, Vargas?
You see it?
No. Saw the final round though.
You couldn't what?
I saw the final round though.
Oh, okay. What were you going to say, Chew?
I reckon let him keep going, to be honest.
No,
I don't know why they stopped it.
Cam, you're the only guy picking Vargas, so congratulations to you. Good pick.
Yeah, I think I just got lucky, man. I didn't really rate Ali that much, and I thought it was a kind of a 55, 45 type of fight. I didn't really see Ali being that much of a favourite, to be honest, and Vargas has had fights where he should win him a lot easier. I think the Khabib fight, he made it a tough fight when he shouldn't have needed to. But yeah, overall, skill wise, I rated Vargas much higher than Ali. But I remember you going back. I think when it was the Ali versus Abregu, I was picking Abregu, and a lot of other people were, and you were one of the only people picking Ali, man. So props to you for that one.
Oh, we're going well back to find the right pick, but I don't mind. Let's go back to 2013, why don't we? That was a great year for the Chew.
Yeah.
You know what, man? It was like a busy weekend of fights, but none of them really kind of made me want to
caught your interest.
Watch them. Yeah. So it was just whatever. Yeah. I think everybody was more into the MMA.
Hey, Dan, you still on?
Yep.
You basically said the same thing I said about Ali, about his physical strength and stuff. When you were up here in New York, you seen him a couple times in the gym or not?
All the time. He has no muscle definition.
Yeah, just soft, right? And doesn't seem like he even trains for it or tries it. And he just thinks he's like ultra fast and slick and everything. So like he just looked like he could just be bullied and pushed around. And even Vargas, I guess, was just too much for him. He couldn't back him up. He couldn't move him. I mean, granted, the ring was wet and he hurt his ankle before, but no excuses. But still, I just found it funny you felt the same thing, because I think most people who see him in person say the same thing about him.
Yeah, when I first saw him, I thought he was a 135-pounder.
Yeah, he just looks soft.
All right, just going back to the schedule. Saturday, Lemieux versus De La Rosa, man. De La Rosa's not fought for, I think it's been over a year. Let me look at his fight against Centennial Jr. That was December 2014, so he's been over.
Yeah, he got put to sleep.
Yeah, you got dropped, was it, in the first, and then you got hit again with the little short left hook.
Cam, who was that? Sorry, Cam, who was that? Just talk there.
That was Naota.
Yes, indeed.
I think he's trying to hint that Nate has not been on the show that long that he forgot what you sound like. But moving on, yep. I'm not really bothered about this fight. I'm doing it, Ari. I'm not bothered. No one's.
Is that on TV at all?
No one's picked it up in the UK. I'm not sure who's picked it up in the States. Let me quickly try and check.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
they're paying for that shit in Canada. You know that shit's gonna be pay-per-view. Yeah,
nothing. It says nothing on the box right that any US channels picked it up. So maybe some Mexican channel, maybe BN's picked it up, or Danny Yankee saying Fox Deportes. So
Yeah,
Fox Deportes.
Yeah.
A Canada fight in Spanish telecast?
It's weird, isn't it? And the undercard's undercard's terrible.
Probably because of De La Rosa.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess. I don't, my boy from over here, every time Lemieux gets a camp, they fly him up there, and he gets to go for the full camp and stuff. But it's like, where could Lemieux go from here? Even if he, I guess, beats De La Rosa, so like, what's next? He already got to the top and got cleaned out, so...
I could see maybe like Golden Boy bringing Billy Joe over.
No, but I think Lemieux will be a Canelo opponent in a while. They just have to keep him warm for next year, and then he can fight Canelo.
Exactly, Leon. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Well, then they shouldn't be fighting in Canada then.
If you want to keep him warm, especially in the winters. Man.
You know what I mean? He can fight Willie the Worm and one of them boys, can't he?
Them weirdos?
Yeah.
No offense to Canadian Jose, but Canada might have the bummiest roster of fighters right now, right?
Yeah, Pascal got fucking Undertaker. He got rest in peace.
He still got Stevenson.
Stevenson ain't fighting nobody.
Oh, he's a bum.
But he's the real champ,
He's a
Kev.
loser.
He's the champ.
He's fighting Fanfara, right? Rematch?
Yeah.
Because we need to see that rematch. That's a must.
Oh, that's a classic.
That's not a rematch, Lim. That's a grudge match.
Hey, shit! You thought Pascal Kovalev 2 was necessary? No, this is a much needed rematch. I have to see this shit. I really do. If I have anything going on that day, I'm canceling everything. Even if I have a child born on that day, I'm gonna watch that rematch. I have to.
Oh shit! On BoxRec, I went for pound Canadian fighter, and Kevin Bizier was number 4.
That tells you everything.
Oh shit!
Shit. We had about 3 loyal coalition listeners from Canada. Now we have 2.
Yeah, Jose's one of them.
Kevin Bizier is probably one of them. Loser.
Shit.
I lost all respect for Lemieux watching the 24/7s for the Triple G fight, where he was just fight of his life, and he's just fat and out of shape. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Eating massive bowls of cereals with his kids.
Yeah, and then he had that bum ass, fucking fat ass. I don't know if he's a manager or whatever, cooking in barbecue. That guy looks like fucking ski mask, man.
You know when someone's got a cereal bowl that's like a mixing bowl? It's not a cereal bowl, it's like twice as large. He was eating out something like that. He was well out of shape.
And what kind of bum has his haircut to the point that it affects his punching and his vision? What a
Yeah,
dumbass.
that's true. That's true. He kept having to wipe it out of his eyes.
Don't put water in his hair. It makes the punches look worse.
Exactly.
That was the line, wasn't it?
His boy definitely saw that Canelo's guy got on TV with the barbecue, and so he's like, dude, good idea. Let's throw a barbecue. I'll work the grill. That was his way to get on TV.
Oh.
Which fight are you talking about?
Yo, what has De La Rosa done since? I remember when he beat
De La Rosa Lemieux.
your boy beat what's his name?
Angulo.
Angulo. You know, when after your boy, his daughter got kidnapped and shit. So that might be the reason for the loss. But he beat him, and people were like, "Oh, he looks good. He's slick. They're hiring him." And then he lost like his next 2 fights, didn't he?
Yeah, he got knocked out. He got knocked out.
I thought Angulo's kid got kidnapped in the Canelo fight.
Oh yeah, that's why he wasn't throwing punches. My bad.
Exactly. Yep. Correct.
Rebecca.
And then don't forget, Angulo got deported too. So there's that.
Yep.
What else, Cam?
I've got nothing on the agenda unless you guys want to discuss anything.
Well, let me see. I think you might have missed 1 or 2 things here.
We don't need to talk about Zab Judah.
If I can talk about a fight, In celebration of Naota, there's a 104.7-pound fight taking place in the backyards in a school ground in Santa Monica.
All right, I'm gonna be there, man.
Chemo Slice working bodyguard.
No, I'm fucking around, Naota. It's good to have you back on.
Yeah, thank you, Lim. But hey, Sean Porter's gonna have a fucking live sparring session exhibition of 12 rounds with Leonardo Tyner on Saturday on PBC's Facebook page.
Oh, is Nez going to go down there and periscope it for us?
Oh yeah, I'm sure he will. They're gonna stream it though on the PBC website and Facebook page. Apparently,
is Tyner the guy who fought recently against a prospect that was like 3 weight classes bigger than him? One of the TNT fighters, maybe. What's the guy that? Chris Pearson, maybe.
No. Well, yeah. My bad. Yeah, he fought Chris Pearson. It was a no contest because both fighters failed the post-fight drug test.
No, a Floyd fighter failing?
Oh, of course not. And of course not. That was a false positive.
Every time I hear like an exhibition fight, I think of Apollo Creed and getting killed.
It's supposed to be an exhibition.
I hope that doesn't happen to Sean Porter. I do want to see that Keith Foreman fight.
That fight ain't never happening.
I'm sure it won't, man. Leonardo Tyner is really not that good. He got his ass whooped by Marcos.
He's trying to take over with sound bites from my job. That's my job.
It's supposed to be an exhibition. Your boy throwing the sponge at him.
Yeah, he throws water.
Kev's gone rogue.
He died. That trainer died. They're resting in peace.
Yeah, I was fucked up. That was my guy.
He did. Yeah, what was that? Saturday that he died?
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, who is the guy, Kim, that played that soundbite on your behalf with the shitty ass audio quality?
that was terrible.
It was probably Ari because he's not saying anything.
No, Ari's dropped off. It was Kev.
Alright.
Kev's gone rogue.
You know, I stay with the shitty contacts, man. With the shitty.
Got the soundboard ready.
Hell no.
Have you got the iPhone next to the mic?
Yeah. Kev's ready.
Kev's ready with
the
iPhone, motherfucker.
Jesus Christ. Well, if we ever break away from Cam, it's going to be a train wreck.
You guys are fucked.
Kev's ready with the we'll do it live. Fuck it.
That was actually my intro to the fucking live dogs.
Yeah, I know. That's what
we're going live. This thing sucks.
that Long Island swagger.
What does it mean? Yeah, he's actually from Long Island. It sucks. The two most racist motherfucking people on TV and news are from Long Island. I try not to fucking admit it, but they are. Fucking O'Reilly and Hannity.
Yeah.
Must be in that water.
Just makes you hate dark people.
Of
course not.
What does it mean?
He's got those standards. And if you fail to fucking live up to them, then you're going to get it. I empathise.
All right, boys. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Have you heard that Bellew's saying that he's going to fight in the Goodson Stadium in May? They haven't announced who, but he's going to do a big outdoor fight. Who's going to that fight? 40,000 people are going to go and buy a ticket to see Bellew.
I read about that, but which title list could they get over?
No one. They're getting no one over. This is bullshit.
No, but they're subsidizing that, Leon. 39,000 of those people are going to be for the movie Apollo 2.
Okay, yeah.
The funny thing is, I think what happened was, Bellew had the green screen of him actually thinking that he was fighting in Goodison, and now he actually wants it to make it happen.
Yeah, it's nonsense. There's another lie from Eddie Hearn.
Yeah.
Don't let... Oh, Chemo might hear that and get upset now.
He probably will.
Chemo's probably on that Bellew bandwagon now as well, isn't he?
No, I don't think he's in the Bellew bandwagon.
If Nick Orlin said so, Chemo's getting on board.
Possibly.
For sure.
All right, let's get some final thoughts and get out of here. I know Chew, you jumped on late, but have you got any final thoughts for us?
I'm really sad that Tony Conquest has announced his retirement.
Are you that sad?
I'm devastated. I have no idea who Tony Conquest actually is, but he's got a fucking great name. Conquest.
Hey, you don't even need a nickname.
Oh, he's a winner. No, that's my final thought. All the best, eh?
Cheers, Chew. Naota, man, good having you back after a while. You got any final thoughts?
Man, I liked a couple of the fights this weekend, as you heard me mention earlier, and then I'm looking forward to Tate, man, coming up this weekend, and then got Hecky Butler the next weekend and stuff. But we'll all get to that in due time. So
yep.
That's it.
Thank you, Naota. Kev, any final thoughts?
Marcus Browne in a couple of weeks is fighting a pretty good fight against a guy most people don't know is a tough guy. So he just came off of beating a couple of big names. So this might be a step towards a title eliminator or a fight. He's also with the guy who trains the guy who just fought on Showtime against Douglas. So the guy's got a brute squad over there. I tweeted it out. Watch out, man. Gary Stark got a little brute squad. He got Sergey D and Kaitrov, this Animal, and now Marcus Browne. He's got 4 guys that are pretty solid. So keep looking out for them. Hopefully they do well.
Nice. Thank you, Kev. Dan, you jumped on late as well, but have you got any final thoughts?
They call me Mystic Dan because I predict these things.
That'll be a no then.
All right. Thank you, Dan. And Leon, lastly, you got any final thoughts, bro?
Nah.
Nice and short
I'm
and sweet.
tired.
You're tired. Yeah, aren't we all? All right. Thank you, boys. Everyone that jumped on the show today. All the people in the chat and all the people that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back next week. Peace.